is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Kanam. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Planet Pizza. Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
ProStyleProduction.com.
Planet Pizza. Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza.
Hello. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
This broadcast on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by ProStyleProduction.com. It's time for Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Comes down low to the near side. Bennett walks out with it. Bennett centering. Feed fires in Easton. Bennett scores. It's 4-1 Magi on the twisted wrister from Easton Bennett.
The growing tradition of Magi hockey carries on today.
He scores! And it's a hat trick for Hayden Schwartz. Projectile play. Mason Morelli with the backhand. Slips it past the netminder. Here's Martell drive. Scores! Martell refutes. And the Magi are on the board with a power play. 40 seconds in OT. A drive coming back to our Fuchs. Scores! Flom gets her out of man. Falls and he fires. He scores! And McFall has done it.
With one goal in mind.
Face off one back to the Knights. Minot High is winning the state title. They have won the state championship.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Point Hyde sends it down. Bennett top shelf backhand. Right where Grandma keeps the cookies. And it's 5-1. Out of Gretzky's office. Bennett feeds Hyde at the line. Near side. Hyde tunes it in. Tipped in front. Vile tucks it home. And it's 5-1. It's handling, whistling, firing into the glove. No, he scored. It's 2-0. Heads, tattoos at home. And the Magicians lead.
It's time for the Minot High Magician Hockey Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location, has been serving the Magic City for over 20 years. Call and order now at 701-852-1700.
Colby Enns will start the rush. Enns has a big hit at center ice. Welcome to senior night. Plenty of noise. Easton Bennett absolutely lights up Ruley. There's the hit of the game, maybe of the week.
Now, let's go to the ice with the voice of the Magi. Here's Nick Hulberg.
For 45 years, Tuesday and Thursday nights in North Dakota,
have been filled with excitement if you're a fan of high school hockey. Tonight's no different. Year number 45 of Minot High Magicians hockey about to begin. Welcome into the season opener for the Magi, where they take on the Mandan Braves. It's the Planet Pizza pregame show. For tonight's West Region affair, I'm Nick Hulberg, joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Larry McFall, who's been here since year number 1. Larry, 45 years in the making for the Magi. There's two banners that hang here at the Pepsi rink at Mesa Arena, where the Magicians see their first action of the 2019-2020 season. My goodness, times have certainly changed, but one thing is a consistent, and that's that the Magi look for wins, especially against opponents like the Mandan Braves that we see here tonight.
Yeah, it always seems like the way this always breaks down is up until this year, I would have to say that Bismarck Century and Bismarck High School have always been a step above Minot. And so they really struggle against those two teams to compete against them. So all the other teams Minot High plays that they feel they're still better than are games that they really need to win. And Mandan is one of them. We'll be talking about the history of these teams a little bit later on. But, yeah, you want to win the ones at home, especially, and against teams that you know that you should beat. And until a team beats them, until Mandan strings 3, 4, 5 wins against Minot, they're not going to get in that Century and Central status. So it's just, for Minot High, it's just move on and make sure that you win the home game against Mandan tonight.
Well, in those 45 years, the Magicians have prided themselves on being a team that is at the state high school hockey tournament. Last year, they made their way back to the state high school hockey tournament after a disappointing run 2 years ago where they didn't qualify, and this is just a few years removed from winning the state title in 2015. You look at the Magicians team from last year and what they were able to do, compiling a record in the West region that was good enough for third place in the West when it was all said and done. They went 8-6. Overall, the Magi finished on a mark of 12-13. Your thoughts on last year and the Magicians' outcome, their future after last year, your thoughts on the way it all shook out in the future with some of those guys that were a part of a team that made it to the state tournament 1 year ago?
Well, I still say that the future is great here for Minot High hockey, and that's based upon the Minot Hockey Booster program being so strong and sending up players after Badams to play for Minot High. And yeah, Minot High is just like all the other high school teams now. They lose a few premier players every year early because these players want to go to juniors and try to make their way to D1 and of course, eventually, hopefully, the National Hockey League. But last year, I think everybody knew it was going to be a learning experience year. Everybody was pretty young on the team last year, and that we were playing against some teams like Century and Bismarck High that were stacked with a lot of older, more experienced players. Now I think the tables have turned. The Minot Magician roster is a veteran roster now, especially that first line that we'll be watching tonight. And the goaltending, Trey Sortland came around last year and pretty much took over that goaltending job, I'd say, within the last 5 games. And I think everything's looking pretty good in the future for the Magicians with the boosters feeding players up. And Minot High, I think this year, might maybe finally have the edge over Bismarck High, who's struggling already this year a little bit, and Bismarck Century. So it all starts tonight. You can't look past this game. The Mandan Braves, coached very well by former Magician Leif Matson, and he comes to play every year. We split last year with Mandan, and then we won the regional, one of the games at regional against him. So Minot winning 2 of 3, but you know that Leif Matson's going to have his team ready to go as well.
Well, you touch on that. They won 3-2. The Mandan Braves did to start the year here in this very arena, very same night for the Magi, the season opener. Will the outcome be different tonight? We're going to find out. When we come back, we'll talk to Jason Bennett, the co-head coach of the Magi. We'll do that in the Planet Pizza Coach's Corner. First, we'll pay the bills. Season 45 for the Magi, just about set to begin. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise playing in.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibetta Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. It's time for the Planet Pizza pregame Coach's Corner. Get your game plan for laser tag in the largest laser tag playground in the region. Did we mention the cheesy, delicious, mouth-watering first bite of a Planet Pizza pizza? Now, here's the matchup's insight with the Planet Pizza Coach's Corner.
It's the Planet Pizza Coach's Corner with Minot High co-head coach Mr. Jason Bennett. First of all, Coach, welcome back to the hockey rink. How was the off season for you?
Off season was good, and we've been practicing for a couple weeks now, and I think we're ready to go.
Let's go back to last year real quick and talk about a Magician's run where you guys went 12-13. Overall, 8-6 inside the West region. Took third place in the West. You had that seeding going into the state tournament. State didn't go the way you guys wanted it to, obviously, falling to Red River on the second day. But overall, in your mind, your thought and a recap on last year, which is obviously in the rearview mirror here, but your thoughts overall?
It was an up and down year. We didn't have a lot of experience last year. I think we only graduated 4 or 5 seniors, so we had a lot of sophomores play a lot of big minutes for us. And we're playing against some kids that were seniors that had played 100 high school hockey games from Bismarck Century, Bismarck High. Probably the best player in the state. Got after us at the state tournament, Cade Stibbe. So we learned some valuable lessons last year. We had to work extremely hard, and I think that's going to help us immensely at the beginning of this year and then going forward this year.
Talk about the outlook a little bit this year for the Magicians. You talk about some of those guys you lost last year, 2 of your captains in Stenberg and Deal. Are those guys finding a replacement in this locker room this year with some of the younger guys stepping up early on in the year?
I think so. Both Kyler and Mace were around for 4 years, so they're a vital part of our program. They played big minutes when they were sophomores for us, as they did when they were seniors. But, we got a guy like Peyton Filling who's been around the block now, and I think he really turned a corner last year. He showed some signs of explosiveness that we hadn't seen from him his sophomore year, and he had a really good year for us, and we expect him to do big things. He's going to be our captain this year. Aiden Morelli led us in scoring last year in terms of goals, so he's back, and he'll be on that line with Murphy and Philly this year. So it's nice to kind of have some groups of kids that played together last year back. They have experience, they know where they're at in the ice, so we're hoping we're I wouldn't say mid-season form, but we're hoping we're maybe in late December, early January here tonight when we get started.
Talk about the back end a little bit. It sounds like there's some guys returning back there that I thought had a lot of promise. Bone Break, Opperud, the Thong-Fed kid back there. Your thoughts on your back end before we talk about the goaltending?
Just like up front, all 3 of those kids you just mentioned were sophomores last year, and I think we kind of knew what to expect with Bone Break and Opperud, and they both grown, they both matured as players over the year. Gabe Thongfed, he was a diamond in the rough for us last year. Some people argue he was maybe our most valuable defenseman last year. He's just so smooth, you hardly ever notice him. And that's a good defenseman. He makes the right play 99% of the time, and he's put some work in over the summer, and he looks really good here so far, the preseason, and we're excited for those guys to be with us this year. We had Jake Tice and Drady and Ethan Kirsten will be back there, and they all have our experience. So we're probably as experienced on the back end as we've been in a while.
Minot High looks to a goaltender in the junior Sortland here, maybe to carry the workload. Looking at the roster and the stats from last year with what he did in his first varsity appearances. Talk about the goaltending situation a little bit. Is there anyone back here pushing him this year, and will we see some split time, or is Sortland going to be the one to carry the reins for the Magi?
We got some good numbers. We're carrying 5 goalies this year, so it's nice. That's probably the most we've had. We've had anywhere from 3 to 4 to 2 even in the last few years, and it's kind of handcuffed us in terms of decisions we could make and goalies we could start and JV and stuff like that. You got to kind of work that out. But Sortland's our guy for the year. The other kids that are up, Noah Conklin, he's a sophomore, played Bantamay last year. We got Hayden Tinkers with us. He moved back into town and finished the year off with us last year. So we do have some kids that are pushing them, but Sortland got a lot of experience last year. He played in some big games, big minutes, played well. So we're going to lean on him early in the year here to kind of get us where we need to be.
It's always interesting seeing that new crop of bantams come up. Is there anyone that we should be watching for? Is there any real studs that stand out? Kind of put you on the spot with that question, but is there anybody that you think might emerge as somebody special here from the Bantam A group coming up?
We got two sophomores, I think, that we're carrying here now, Aiden Descent and Zach Deal. That's Mason's brother, so now we have another, 3 more years with a Deal kid, which is good. He's a pretty smooth kid. He's a good skater. He reminds you a lot of Mason. So they're comparable to where they were at that age group. And Mason Deal, we were just talking, scored a huge goal for us first round game of state his sophomore year. So we expect big things out of Zach. But no, the Bantam class that moved up is not super big. I think right now this year's Bantam groups is big, so we're going to get a lot of kids next year. But for this year, we have so many. We had so many sophomores play last year. There was a pretty tough lineup to crack.
West Region outlook, it looks like Minot High and Century are the two favorites. Bismarck High's down a bit. Your thoughts overall on the parity in the West this year, and what do you expect in 2019-2020?
Yeah, I don't think there's any, I think the vote, the coach's vote was Bismarck Century, but until somebody beats them and takes that away from them, so be it. They probably have the best defenseman in the region back, Connor Hansen. He's a stud, and I see he's already had 3 goals in 2 games for them. Bismarck High, when you lose Petrie, you lose Sardelli, it's hard to replace those kids. It really is. And they got a new coaching staff, so I expect, Wes Carl will do some good things. He's been around that program for a while. Dickinson will be decent. They got that Pavic kid back, and he got us for a couple at the Jamboree. Mandan played us hard at the Jamboree. They always work hard. They're going to be there at the end of the day. And Williston, I think, was young last year. So, yeah, there's going to be, 6 teams in the West. It might be more evenly paired this year than maybe has in years past.
Usually makes it kind of fun. On to business tonight in a region opener to start your season off here with the Mandan Braves in town, and a team that returns a handful of guys back to their lineup, coached by Leif Madsen, the former Magician captain from the early 2000s. What do you expect out of the matchup tonight, and what do you look for from your team?
It's something we need to get off to a good start. We haven't played well against Mandan here in the last 3 previous meetings to open the season. It seems like they've always had a couple games at hand. This is our first game of the year. Fortunately for us, I think they had a game canceled Saturday, so they've only played 1. But there's something to be said about that. There's something to be said. Played 6 periods of varsity hockey at that high competitive level, and we've been practicing and just kind of running into each other for the last 2 weeks. So that might be a bit of a benefit for us. But they're going to play hard. They're going to clap some though. They're going to block a lot of shots. We just need to make sure we don't give up any soft ones, I guess. In terms of, 2-on-1 odd man rush, they get a guy behind our D for a breakaway. That seems to be the way they beat us in the past with just, they get their opportunities, they score. So we really, really got to limit those quality chances. And I think we'll be all right.
Best of luck here tonight. Always good being back at the rink for your number 45 of Magi Hockey.
Yeah, 45. Holy cow. So we're excited, and hopefully it's a good year.
Thank you. That's the co-head coach of the Magi, Jason Bennett. When we come back to the Planet Pizza pregame show, we'll dive further into the matchup. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
It's time for the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report. First International has you covered. On the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. Watch out for flying pucks and the Zamboni. Let's go back to the press box with Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall.
Duffy Doback on the microphone inside of Pepsi Rink at Mesa Arena for tonight's West Region affair. The Mandan Braves are in town to take on the Magi from Minot High. And we are set for the national anthem. We'll turn it aside to the house audio as we have the presentation of the national anthem here tonight. Then we'll face it off. Minot High and Mandan just about set to lock horns here at Pepsi Rink here tonight.
Chloe is a senior at Minot High School and a member of the Chloe is also a member of the 2019 State Championship MHS cheer team.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the ragged sprinkler, the most bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
God bless our servicemen and women. God bless our veterans. God bless America. What a beautiful day for hockey. We're in the Magic City at the Pepsi Rink for the West Region and season opener for year number 45 for the Minot High Magicians. Nick Hulberg alongside of Larry McFall as we get set to turn loose the 2019-2020 season. Andrew Goodmanson stopped in tonight. He checked in. It's been a while since he's checked in.
He has.
And as Andrew Goodmanson would say, I weighed in before and after Thanksgiving dinner. Turns out I didn't need to eat the whole pie. Good luck to the Magi. Thanks a lot, Goody, for checking in, buying or selling a home. Visit Andrew Goodmanson or his wife, McKenna. They do a fantastic job at 701 Realty, the best in the business, thanks to the Goodmansons.
Yeah, he used to always have a word for us all the time. And he had disappeared a little bit there.
He's back.
Good.
So are the
Good.
Magi. So is Trey Sortland, who's in the blue paint on the right. He goes tonight against Zane Clausen for the Mandan Braves on the left. Larry, do you have goaltender numbers for us heading into this one? Of course, Sortland doesn't have any, as this is the season opener tonight for the Magi.
Well, all I know is Zane Clausen's in the net, and he played 5 games last year, so he does have a little bit of varsity experience here tonight.
Minot High goes from the right to the left in their home white uniforms. Mandan's in all black. They're from the left to the right. We are underway at the Pepsi Rink. 15 seconds into the Magi push it down the ice with Nick Murphy. This will go down for an icing, so we'll face it off back in Magi territory.
Murphy tried to hit Morelli with the bomb there. It didn't quite work out. The face-off will come back down to the right of Sortland. Sortland was the 8th best goalie of the state last year. It says 9 on Bob Gillen's website, but the number 1 guy for Grand Forks Central played 1 game. So I'm throwing him out. So Sortland, the 8th best goaltending goals against average last year in North Dakota high school hockey.
Not a bad year for Sortland with a 2.4 goals against average and just about an 89% save percentage. He went 8-6 in his sophomore campaign. Here come the Magi out of their own end with Nick Murphy. Gets it up to Aiden Morelli, who breaks into the offensive zone. Morelli in front. Murphy turns it towards the net. Save. Oh, rebound. What a stop from Clausen. A pad save and a beauty. The Black Bryans pads made the stop, but it remains scoreless 50 seconds in. Here's Philly into the offensive zone. Lost it there. The puck now wrangled and controlled by Nate Lillis. Not for long. The Magi regained control. They dumped it down, but on the retrieve is Josh Moe, the D-man for the Braves. And here comes Leif Mattsson's club back into Magi territory over the Minot High stripe. Blocker side of Sortland. Bump back up to the point. Halstengard has it. He fires it in. The stop ends up being made there by Sortland, who makes his first stop of the night.
Boy, that number 1 line of Murphy, Philly, and Morelli, again, another great rush into the zone. And the initial save by the netminder Clausen. And then, as you said, a great skate save that kept this game scoreless here with 15:46 remaining here in period number 1.
Face off in the Magicians' defensive zone. Blocker side of Sortland. The Braves have control of the puck, and they're down low as they work it around the end wall and behind the Magi net. Defensively, it was Operud there that bangs his man into the wall, the far side wing. The Magi break it into the offensive zone now. They carry in behind Clausen. It comes in on the near side wall. It's Jack Plemmel. He went from number 12 to number 7 here in his senior season. Dropped down to the corner, and out the Magicians come. Intended pass there from Plemmel from the corner off the tape of Derwin Hauser. Puck is back in behind the net for the Magi, and Plemmel spins it towards the net, went into the blue paint. Comes back to Plemmel. He's rocked on the play. How about the hit there? Welcome to varsity play, says Parker Zander. The Braves are back in with it. Now Halstengard at the other end of the ice turns it towards the net, and Operud dove in front of it. Nice play there from the junior D-man for the Magi. Blocked the shot there. The puck lays in the corner on the blocker's side of Sortland as the Magicians break it out here with Plemmel. 14:45 in the opening frame. Plemmel carries into the offensive zone.
Plemmel's taking a beating.
He's ridden off the play. He went to the ice, and the Magi gained control of the puck underneath the net. As Hauser make that field was hit underneath the goal line. Puck is centered in front by the Magicians. Plemmel, and it rolls all the way back into Magi territory where it's recouped here by Josh Drady. Drady turns it back into the offensive zone across center and hammers it down underneath the goal of the Braves, and the Braves are going to try to break out here. They can't as it's held in by Isaiah Thongfett. Far side wall, Braves with Zane Fay trying to push it out of the zone. He can't. Drady holds it. Drady turns it towards the net. The save was made from Clausen. Shots are 4-0 on the board here at the Mesa Arena. We're 3 minutes in. Scoreless hockey game with the Mandan Braves. Oh my goodness! Josh Drady absolutely lays the wood on the near side wall on Colby Kramer. And Kramer goes to the ice in big time. And the penalty will be called on Drady, and I'm not exactly sure.
Contact to the head was the call by Nathan Medler. And that penalty is going to come at the 3:07 mark here of period number 1. At least you have somebody up here now to decipher times, because you don't really excel in that in your Minot State games when you're on the PA.
Well, thank you for that. The only problem is you're up here and you'd agree with me that even 2, 3, 4 years ago, that would have been a penalty. Looked like a great hit to me, but the contact to the head was the call. The Magi are shorthanded for the first time tonight. Here's the Mandan power play. They're out. They wheel a deal behind the net of Sortland. He makes a stop off the glove, and the puck is taken by the Magicians, and it's Hillman make that Thongfett that launches it all the way down. Gabe and Isaiah, the 2 Thongfetts on the roster for the Magi. Gabe wears number 15. Talked about as maybe one of the best defensemen for the Magicians. They've got a few back there that are going to have a good 2018-2019 season. 1:20 remaining on the power play for the Braves. They regain control in their own territory. Still a scoreless contest is into the offensive zone. With it comes Josh Moe. He's a left-handed shooter, takes it down below the net. It's taken away by Big Ben Bonebreak underneath the goal stripe. But it comes back to Mandan at the point. They handle there. Wheeling and dealing, stick handling nicely. That was Condon, and Condon tried to deliver it back up to the point to Moe. He did. Hard on the forecheck for the Magi is Derwin Hauser. Now it's Riley Operud, the corner right in front of the Zamboni door. And Operud will launch this one 200 feet, wearing the power play time down to 44 seconds for the Braves as Clausen is out of the net, way at the top of the circle, or mid-range of the circle, I should say, playing it around to the near wall. Here come the Braves back to center, but it's Operud again. This one on a tee launches it back in behind Clausen. The Magi penalty kill certainly looking solid early in this contest.
Yeah, they've got a couple of changes in. They're on their 3rd unit right now.
Here's the Magicians in the neutral ice zone. It's taken by Nick Murphy. He'll dump it back in behind Clausen as the Braves work with 13 seconds on the power play. 12 now on the dot right here. The first, we're still scoreless in this West Region affair. 1 year ago, the very same game, the opener for the Magi, Minot High fell 3-2.
Your Magicians are in full strength.
They look to
Full strength.
change the outcome here tonight to start the season off with big region points. Didn't get a whole lot of time to talk about it in our Planet Pizza pregame show, but Minot High is my favorite to win the West Region this year. Century, the other team in the fight, according to the conversation of the coaches. To start, they vote on it at the start of the season. Minot High predicted number 2, Century 1, Bismarck High number 3. Here's Nick Murphy back in behind the net, works it away to the near side half boards.
That was your preseason pick last year as well.
Drop
you
back
pick
to Operud.
Minot.
But I thought they were going to be good last year. They were all right. They took third inside of West Region play. I thought they underperformed, to tell you the truth.
You did? Okay. I thought they actually, after they got rolling a little bit, I thought they had a pretty good year.
They came around a bit at the end. There was just some guys that I thought maybe would have a few more points. Back into the offensive zone come the Mandan Braves, sent in front of the Minot High net. Puck is swept away by Operud. It's down to the corner where the Magicians' Jacob Tice goes to work on it. Gets it away to Operud. He backhands it up to the point, but not out of the zone as it's held in there by Coy Barrett. Back in behind the net of Sortland, sent to the point. Slap shot came in off of the tape from Ryan Blowers, and the stick save was made from Sortland. 10:25 remains here in the first period. Still a scoreless hockey game. Puck handled down by Tice. He's going to try to chip it away out of the zone. Bouncing puck lands out of the tape of Casey Field, and Field will take it with a backhand. This puck rolls all the way back into the offensive territory. Minot High goes for a 4-for-5 change as the Braves back at the neutral ice zone. Regain control, but not for long. It's sticked ahead there by the Magicians' Isaiah Thongfen. He gains the offensive zone with it, but now the Braves take it away again. A little bit of a sloppy hockey game to start, as you would expect early on in the season for both of these teams. Mandan comes in at 1-0 after a 6-4 win over Hazen to start the season a few nights ago. Braves have the puck in their own territory. They try to push it out on the near side wall. It's Nate Lillis. Up to the point, bone break, held it in. Then it's taken away by Lillis. He pushes out to center. 9:30 to play here in the first. The Magicians regroup and dump it back in. And on the retrieve is Barrett here for Mandan. Puck pushed all the way down the length of the ice. Peyton Fillion, the all-state running back on the football field, let that one roll all the way down where bone break is on the retrieve. Minot High had an all-right football campaign. They made the playoffs but got beat by West Fargo in the quarterfinals. A few of the players on the Magicians Hockey Club were a part of that run for the Magi. 9 minutes on the dot to play in the first. Minot High looking for the first of the night, but now it's the Braves that try to clear the zone. They can't. Shot comes in from Draney from the point. Clausen down into the old Ed Belfour. He made the stop. Puck is on the glove side of Clausen. Delay call coming here on the Magi. And the second power play of the night comes up for the Braves.
That penalty is going to be called at the 8:14 mark. Jake Stacks got the call, and it's a trip. And right now the Magicians aren't doing themselves any favors here early in the game by taking those penalties. When you're opening up your season, you're trying to get everything moving smoothly. One thing that could just upset the apple cart is penalties, and right now the Magicians are going to have to kill off another one. 8:46 remaining here in period number one. Still no score from the Mesa Arena. If you're just joining us, the Mandan Braves and the Minot High Magicians.
Referees for tonight's game, by the way, are Jake Stack and Nathan Medler with the stripes on. You've got Mike Kelly Jr. along with Kevin Wilk, who have the line duties here tonight. 4-man system in North Dakota high school hockey. I always make the joke, 6 eyes aren't enough for them to catch them all, so they've got 8 out there here tonight. Penalty kill for the Magi is 1 for 1 so far. They're shorthanded. They bring it into the offensive territory. The puck came up from Derwin Hauser. He tried to move it across up to Casey Field, but he couldn't connect on it. Now regaining control are the Braves, and it's Carter Berger that gains steam into the offensive zone. He's on the near side wall, skates it all the way down in behind the net of Sortland over to the blocker side. Puck is taken here by Josh Moe up to the point. Nice play there.
Nice.
Derwin Hauser went to his belly, used the stick and swept it out of the zone, and it went all the way down the length of the ice with 7:49 to play. In a scoreless first period, 1 minute complete on the second power play of the night here for the Braves. Still scoreless. Josh Moe carries into the offensive zone. Turns it in front, right in front of Sortland. Puck comes to Fillion, and the captain of the Magi launches that one down 200 feet. Clausen went down to his pillows, made the stop, and it's pushed right back up to center. Drew Condon carries in. Condon, far side wall on the blocker side of Sortland. Walks out of Gretzky's office with it. Now slows his roll, sends it towards the front of the net. That one hit a stick of a defender for the Magi. The Magicians' penalty kill has 26 more seconds to kill off here as they push it out of the zone from Ben Bonebreak, and it comes out to center where on the retrieve is Justice Saylor. Saylor was picked off by Bone Break. We're down to 15 on the power play. Second for the Braves. What a hit on the near side wall. Hello, Jade Luck absolutely lights up. 19 on the near wall. Justice Saylor, other end of the ice. The glove save is made from Sortland. You want some highlights? You got him right there with 6:52 to play in the first. Hello.
Boy, that one hurt up here. 7 seconds left on the penalty to the Magicians here. Face off to the left of Sortland. I got to stretch this out because I'm not getting to talk enough.
High tempo hockey game early on. Yeah, we cut the Planet Pizza pregame show short tonight.
I'm glad I don't get paid by the word.
Yeah, you and I both. Puck taken here by Bone Break. Make that Drady in the offensive zone. Now it's going to be pushed ahead forward by Ashton Hillman. Scrum forward at the neutral ice zone, goes up and out of play. 6:29 remaining in a scoreless first. Larry, now's your time. Say what you'd like.
You know, you were talking about how the game has changed and how that one penalty wouldn't be a penalty a few years ago. But you know what? The players are bigger, faster, stronger, and as the hockey games and hockey evolves, you just have to start making some of those calls because it's not like it used to be. These kids are big.
Here's one of them. It's Drady. He moves it up to center ice. Thog Fent into the offensive zone with it now down to the corner defensive zone here for the Braves. It's Barrett who moves it to the far side. Trying to clear now is Damian Jory, and Jory moves it out to center. We're on the retreat for the Magi is Ashton Hillman. Hillman tried to move it out of the zone. He couldn't. It was held in by the Braves. And Drady's back on the retrieve. Gave it away momentarily, but the puck hopped off the stick of the Brave. It went up to Opera, down to the offensive zone. It's a 3-on-2 Magi. Here's a drive, lock, save, rebound, loose in front. And Clausen down into the butterfly, hangs tight.
Nice save there on that shot by Jaden Luck. And the rebound came out front and hit a leg and slid into Clausen, where he was able to cover it up. And he'll get the face-off down to his right. We're down to 5:51 remaining here in period number 1.
Minot High last year finished 12-13 overall. They had the third place spot in the West Region regular season standings. They had that same mark coming out of the West Region tournament. They returned their top point producer in Peyton Fillion with 29 points. Last year in his junior campaign, will this be a magical year for Peyton Fillion? Magicians coaching staff and everyone that's a fan of the maroon and gold would certainly like to think so, and definitely has high hopes for the senior captain for the Magi. Somebody's got to lead the team. Puck handled here, comes in on Clausen's blocker side, sent in front, no one home on the field attempt, and here come the Braves back up to center, but Bone Break is there to intercept the rush, and Field has it again with a backhand. He just softly dumps it into the zone. Minot High goes for a wholesale change, and back on the retrieve are the Braves, and Ryan Blowers in their own territory. Off the wall, the puck came to Derwin Hauser. He put one towards the net. Clausen made save number 10. As Minot High and Mandan are still scoreless here in the first with 4:45 to play in the opening period on the season opener for the Magicians here tonight at the Pepsi Ring. Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location. 701-852-1700. Give them a call now. Order one of those delicious Blue Buffalo pizzas. They deliver for free.
And to touch on that a little more, Nick, working here as the ice operations manager, I see the Toros, the college, the girls and women's teams, and Minot High warm up all the time. I watch them practice. I mean, the stuff they do, the weightlifting, the running, the dry land, stuff that you and I never did to prepare for a hockey game. So there's a lot more speed and size out there nowadays.
Puck is handled here by Morelli. Got it up into the offensive zone. Into the zone it comes. Here's Aberud. Sends one in. Went off the blocker and into the corner. The Magicians have Morelli at the point, firing one back towards the net, but wide. 4:10 to play in the first. Minot High, like sharks in the water in the offensive zone with their top unit out right now. Here's Philly out of Gretzky's office, getting fancy with it. Sends it in front. Murphy a drive. Oh, blockers save. That was robbery, point blank. Now Morelli battling for top of the circle near side wing, but it's the Braves that push out to center. Not before Morelli sends 14 for a ride. Damian Jory and the Magicians looking good with their top line as they send it back in to the neutral ice zone, or into the offensive zone, right back to neutral ice, I should say. And now the Magicians have to touch up, but they're offsides as Luck was in over the blue line.
It really seems to me like the Magicians lost that early momentum with those 2 penalties. They just were coming in with the lines 3 wide and making some good plays in the zone. Since those 2 penalties, it's kind of turned into a pond hockey game a little bit here. And as you had said, it's a little bit sloppy, and they need to get their momentum back.
Shots are 12-3 favoring the Magi with 3:25 left in the first. Neither team on the scoreboard yet. Blocker side of Clausen. Puck handled here by the Braves, and it's Halstengard trying to clear it. He goes over to his partner. And now out to center ice with the help there of Barrett. It sits in the neutral ice zone where there's a scrum for it again, and a big hit on the near wall with Ashton Hillman. Rolling puck goes into the possession of the Braves offensive territory. Backhander went towards the net. Off of Parker Zander, it went wide. Now the Magi have control again as Thongfett moves it back to his brother. And here come the Magicians back up to center with Jaden Luck. Luck with the backhand. Coughed that one up. Went away to Zander. He's in a drive. And the glove save is made as Sortland tested for only the 4th time tonight. But he's equal to the task. Scoreless game with 2:44 to play in the first.
Sortland didn't like what he saw there with a couple of extra black jerseys in the zone. So after he dropped the glove save, he pounces on it and freezes the puck here with 2:44 remaining in period number 1.
Puck comes back to the point. Mandan has it in their offensive territory. Diving in front of that one, or going to Anita block that one, I should say, was the Magicians skater number 8, Derwood Hauser, having an impressive performance early on here tonight. Here come the Magicians up through center into the offensive zone. Plemmel on the retrieve. Plemmel's going to take it back behind the net to Casey Field. Field bumps it back to the point. Here's Opperud, sends it in. Another blocker save made by Clausen. And on the near side half boards, Field has control of it. And Real Estate sends it towards the net. It went off the side of the cage. 2:05 to play here in the first period. Minot High tried to break the score. Deadlocked at goose eggs with Plemmel in the corner. He shuffles it back to the point with Opperud. Opperud, fresh haircut. He rocked the hockey hair coming out of the back last year. He almost looked like McFall towards the end of the season. Now Opperud's got it at center, right over the Pepsi logo at center. Look at him dangle, and he skates it to the top of the circle. He's knocked out of the play, and now the Magi get their first power play of the night.
They're going to call a tripping on that, and it's going to come at the 15-19 mark. And skater number 3 comes to the box. That's Ryan Blowers. He's related, obviously, to the Blowers family that used to have a player in Minot years ago, now living down in Mandan.
Brandon Blowers is who you speak of. Back in my era. 1:41 left here in the first. That's Leif Matson era as well, the head coach of the Braves in his 3rd year. He was actually the captain of the Magicians. You remember those days? He was
I remember
early
those
2000s.
days.
Nice crowd on hand tonight here at the Pepsi Rink. The drum line for the Magicians is here tonight. Made the comment, it kind of reminds you of the old school Grand Forks Red River State Hockey Tournament appearances where...
Oh, please don't compare us to them.
The riders would paint their faces and have the drum line.
Yeah, they still do.
Stroll through the old Ralph Engelstad Arena. That was a 5-minute major penalty. Minot High has 3 minutes, 37 seconds.
Yes, it was.
I'm sorry, it's a double minor. 4 minutes was the call.
Slashing double minor.
You had one job, Larry.
I blew that one.
Here comes the 1 minute call from Duffy Novak.
1 minute remaining in the period.
Checking the records here to see if that was the first mistake in 45 years. I'll get back to you.
Thanks, Duffy. Short-handed into the offensive zone came the Braves. Carter Berger, he was hauled up on the play by Thongfett.
Holding.
And Mr. McFall's all over this one. We're going to skate 4-on-4.
16-11 the time of that. It's a hold. And there goes the man advantage for now. That'll take a 2-minute chunk out of the 3:09. And the teams will play 4-on-4 with the face-off to the left of Sortland. 49.7 seconds remain.
Shots are 13-4 Magicians. They have the puck with bone break back in their own territory. They're going to try to move it up to center, and they do. Here comes Jaden Luck, the sophomore, in over the blue line. Near side wall, drops it off field, throws it towards the net. Luck's got it back behind the cage, works it out. Here's Opera, the one-timer on a tee, but the rolling puck. Forced that puck to go up and wide. Now Bonebreak sends it in, loose in front of the net. Luck was right there. Took a whack at it, comes back in front of the blue. Paint yawning goal mouth back to the point. Bonebreak has it, turns it in. The shot went off the pad and wide. Magicians are pressuring now as Oprud goes downstairs. Off to Luck. Luck walks out, jammed it towards the net. Clausen made the save, and the Magicians have a flurry to end the first period, but we end our first 17 scoreless. Shots are 17-4 at the end of one, and they grabbed 4 of them in the last 15 seconds. Momentum in the favor of the Magi at the end of one. Let's go to our first International Bank and Trust intermission report. We'll have the recap of the period. We also talked to Leif Matson, the head coach of the Mandan Braves. You'll hear that interview at the break as well. Minot High and Mandan deadlocked where we started 0-0 at the end of 17 minutes. This is Minot High Magicians hockey.
On the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. Mystery novels. The other likes dressing up like the cat from Kiss. They're the voices of Magi Hockey. Let's get back to the press box with Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall.
High drum line here at the Pepsi rink tonight. My goodness.
What? What'd you say?
They're putting on a show on the mezzanine underneath the American and Canadian flag and those national championship banners for the Beavers, the state high school hockey championship banners for the Magicians. Nice added touch tonight to Magicians hockey.
Yep, it's nice to have them. It's been a long time since Minot High hockey had a drum line or a band going way back to the All Seasons Arena days.
Larry, your thoughts on the first period? It's a 0-0 hockey game at the end of one, and Minot High certainly pressured at the end of the first. Your thoughts?
Yeah, they did. I still think the first two penalties they took really threw off their flow that they had going, and they needed to get that back, and now they have on 4-on-4. They've got a 1:11 left on their penalty. The Braves have 2:19 left on their 4 minutes. So everybody knows the first game's going to be a little rusty. You want to play at 5-on-5. You want to avoid special teams unless you absolutely have to take a penalty. So I think that did affect them. Boy, I tell you what, Zane Clausen looks good. He's stopping ones he should stop. He's stopping ones he shouldn't stop. And he's stopping ones that he can't see. And he reminded me of Hasek down there in the first period. He was doing a little bit of flopping, but it was working. And he came up with 17 saves in period number 1, while Trey Sortland, not much work with 4. So now, if you're the Magicians, Sortland is back there not doing much, so you have to keep your goalie involved. We all know that. So you have to just keep him pumped up even though he's not getting much work. And you have to help him out and score, because the longer this game goes with Clausen being an acrobat down here and Minot not scoring and Sortland barely getting any shots, it only takes 1 or 2 to get the Magicians in trouble. So now it's really becoming the first goal, I think, Nick, is very, very essential if you want to win tonight's hockey game.
Couldn't agree more. This is the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report. First International Bank and Trust is a proud member of the Minot community. We stay true to our values by encouraging our staff to spend more time with family. By doing so, we spend more moments living in the moment. Member FDIC, live first. Mr. Larry McFall will have a complete history of Minot High versus Mandan at the second intermission. We'll talk to Jordan Willert here in just a moment, but first let's hear from Leif Matson, the head coach and former Minot High Magician. The former Minot High Magician that's now the head coach of the Mandan Braves, I should say. We'll hear that after the break. At the end.
Do you have any stump Stonewall tonight, or we're going to warm up slowly into the season on that?
I'll think about one in the second period and get you for the second intermission.
Yeah, okay, sounds good.
That's what we'll do. 0-0 at the end of 1. First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report rolls on. We'll hear from Leif Matson next. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Libeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. For the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report, First International has you covered. Let's go back to the press box for the stats, analysis, and everything else Magi hockey.
Welcome to the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report. We're now joined by the Mandan Braves head coach, Leif Matson. First of all, Coach, thanks for some time. Welcome back to the Magic City. How are things?
Things are great. Thanks for having me.
You guys sure had a nice run last year in Mandan in your second season with the Mandan Braves as the head coach. You took them to the state tournament. Let's go back to last year just a little bit and talk about how big that was for the program and for you personally with taking the reins over in Mandan and getting them back to the promised land.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Sixth time in school history. for us to do it. So it's fun to see the kids just buy in, over the season, and see the success and grow from it from game to game, and then qualify. That was quite the experience for me as a coach and us for a team. So it was really cool.
You as a former defenseman, those 1-0 games that helped you qualify for the state tournament, I mean, that had to have been pins and needles for you last year. Mason Matter, and he was certainly the MVP there.
Absolutely, yeah. Good defenseman. I always gives credit to their goalie, and Mason, he was unstoppable. So he's doing well right now. He's playing hockey for U Mary, so I'd like to see. That's great that he's continuing on his career. Fantastic to see you moving players up the ranks. Let's talk about this year's club, and boy, looking at your roster, you guys have some guys back that can do some damage and maybe make some noise in the West region. Give us the outlook for the Mandan Braves here in 2019-2020. Yeah, we're going to take it one game at a time, one shift at a time. We lost, two key components, Mason and Jackson Zettelman, but basically we're reloading. We got a heavy senior class, so that's something new we haven't had in a while. So I know the guys, they worked hard in the off season and carrying through, as the season started, and you can see the success that a lot of them play football and not multiple sports. So it's just fun to see that the team just do well.
Talk about the opener for you guys. You got a win over Hayes and Beulah. How do the North Stars look this year, and how did that game play out for you? 6-4 win.
Yeah, Hazen, it's great to see that they can come back into WDA and the varsity level. Then they play a JV, they got a JV team too. So it's good to see they got a couple kids that just work hard, making kids that can score. We did well. Certain things we want to improve on, and carry that over to tonight. And we'll see where it goes.
Tonight you take on the Magi for their home opener and their season opener. It's a Magicians team that is going to be hungry for a win. Mandan's had some success in the first matchup of the year, traditionally the last 2 or 3 years here. Your thoughts with the matchup with the Magi tonight? Is there one key to you that stands out to walk out of here with a big region win?
What happened in the past, that's in the past. We're gonna take this season forward. But they got they're looks like a heavily junior dominated team. But they got the Murphy kid, the Fillion kid, Morelli, and Plemmel. So they got some talent along with some other new guys. They got a good tender. Trey, he did well for them last year. So yeah, one shift at a time, and we'll see what we can do.
For you as a former Magician now coaching the Mandan Braves, what does it mean to you to come up here and play well, perform well, and get wins here at the Mesa Arena?
Yeah, it's always nice at the beginning of the season. It's a homecoming, to say the least. The guys kind of give me a little bit of a hard time. But Larry McFall and the rest of the guys here at Mesa, they do an amazing job. It's one of the best rinks, by far in the state, for sure in the conference. Just the hospitality, the facilities. It's always fun to come back.
Fantastic stuff. Thanks for your time as always. Best of luck not only tonight but the rest of the year. Tell the family hello and hope everything's well.
All right, thank you very much.
That's Leif Matson, the head coach of the Mandan Braves. When we come back to the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report, we'll look at the scoring from the period. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. Back to the ice. Here are the voices of Magi Hockey, Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall.
17-4, the shots on goal at the end of one. Nothing to report on the score sheet. Scoreless hockey game with the Magi and Mandan Braves for the season opener for the Magicians. Nick Hulberg alongside of Mr. Larry McFall. We were going to have Jordan Willard. We'll have him at the end of period number 2. Time for our second frame, Larry.
It's just like Heinz ketchup. The anticipation is always great waiting for Jordan Willard.
I've got a stump Stonewall for you. You want to play before we...
Yeah, oh boy, do I want to play.
Before we welcome back to the ice the Mandan Braves, 2:40 away from the start of the second, by the way. Time for a little game we like to call Stump Stonewall. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I guess. Not the goals against average for Joe Blow back in 1981 or something like that. Let's make this legit.
It's legit.
Okay.
All right, Larry, here we go. Stump Stonewall.
Oh, we even have music for it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Bigger than I thought it was.
Since 2012, that's as far back as the North Dakota High School Hockey website goes. Since 2012, how many wins do the Magicians have on their season opening game? Since 2012.
So you're talking 6 years. 12 through 18. That's what you're talking.
Yes. 12 to 18. How many wins do the Magi
3.
have? 3? Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
We've officially stumped Stonewall here tonight. The answer is 0.
What?
They haven't won one since 2012 to start their year.
No way.
That's true.
Okay, also, the North Dakota High School website goes all the way back to 2006, by the way. Not 12.
Well, maybe we should take a peek at it and see if it goes
Because
all
I
the way
just
back
copied
that
off
far.
all that stuff today from 6 until 19, so. I was doing my homework.
It's been a while since the Magi have got one of their opener. In on a drive off the opening draw, the second.
I can't believe that.
Opportunity was there from Carter Berger, but he sent it wide. Here comes the Magi. Jaden Luck's back in. Turns the burners on. He fires. Oh, he scored. Jaden Luck tucks it. 5-hole. The Magi have the lead.
Boy, that's a big goal when you can get one at 27 seconds of the period. On a nice move by Luck as he skates on in. That's probably going to be unassisted. And remember, that was 4-on-4. As the Magicians still have 45 seconds left on their penalty. The Braves, a minute 53. And the Magicians break the ice first here, 1-0.
Well, Jaden Luck was a player at the end of the year last year, if you remember, the only freshman on the club. He took our award for the player of the game multiple nights in a row. Let's listen to Dumpy Novak. Here's the call. Field has the assist on it. Now Field's back into the offensive zone. Turns one in. Waffle board save from Clausen. Clausen falls on it. Look out. We've got a melee to the right to the goalkeeper. Luck in there. Batting at the left pad of the blocker. The Mandan Braves decor doesn't like that. Luck's got a smile on his face and the only goal of the game. 55 seconds into the second. It's 1-0 Magi.
Yeah, the Magicians took it right back down in and had another great scoring opportunity. I always like at all the games I watch here, college, Toros, high school, there's always got to be that one extra push after the whistle that always starts something out front. And it almost started up there.
Off the draw, offensive zone. We're 4-on-4 for the next 10 seconds after that. Minot High will go to the power play. Aiden Morelli's underneath the net of Clausen.
Magicians are at full
Magi are at full strength and on the power play as Riley Oprood handles underneath the goal stripe. Offensive zone over to Fillion. Fillion off the wall, works it back up to Oprood. Goes for a stroll, sends it in. And Clausen makes the save with ease. He hangs tight to it. Face-off will come on his blocker side.
Yeah, Thogfetch sent that in from the blue line. It was a soft wrist shot. Nobody got in front, so an easy save there for Clausen. The Magicians are going to have to go and cause some distractions here for Zane Clausen in the cage.
Oprood to the point, across to Thogfett. Oprood handles again, and Riley Oprood sends it in, whistles. Oh, top shelf! Riley Oprood right where Grandma keeps the cookies. It's 2-0.
Well, that time the Magicians did get the screen in front. Morelli was parked right in front of Clausen. He didn't have a chance on that one, and that goal comes at 2:34 here of period number 2.
How about that twisted wrister from Riley Oprood? He was at the Hess logo inside the blue line, and he put it upstairs, and it's 2-0 Magi. They are buzzing here to start the second.
Maybe an assist from Thongfett. We'll wait for Duffy's announcement.
That's what I marked it as. I would have to think that he would. Regardless, it went off the stick of Opperud and into the back of the net. Here's Duffy Novak.
Scoring a power play goal at 1:34 of the second period. Number 21, Riley Opperud. And assist to number 15, Fongfett.
Yep.
Opperud for Fongfett. On the power.
Fongfett does get the assist.
Center ice, the puck is scrubbed forward. Now it's going to be handled here by the Braves. They work it across their own D territory with the Magicians and Casey Field hard on the forecheck. Morelli's in there as well. Puck comes around the end wall. The Braves trying to clear it out, but it's Gabe Thongfett that holds the line underneath the half boards on the near side wing. Right side of the radio dial. The puck is worked here by the Braves with Josh Moe. Tries to clear it out, but Bone Break holds it in. Underneath the goal line, that was Nick Murphy trying to center it in front, and it escapes the zone where Bone Break has it back from Opperud. The Magi dump it back in. Casey Field lets it go down to Opperud. Opperud on the near wing. Scrubbing forward right inside the blue line. Opperud sweeps it away off the wall. Comes away now off of Hauser. And Hauser's got it back here on the near side wing. He moves it ahead forward to Opperud. Steps in over the blue line. Top of the circle near wall. Shuffled it down the boards underneath the net to Field. Field trying to go back over to Jack Plemmel. And Plemmel ridden off the play there. The puck goes away to Sam Peterson for the Braves. Peterson hounded heavily there. The puck goes away to Field, and Field on the near half wall just sends it high off the glass, goes back in behind Clausen. Braves need an icing, and they're going to get one. They launch it down. 13:23 to play in the second period. Minot High up 2-0. How about the Magicians to start the middle frame?
Yeah, they started the frame off just like they did the end of the first period. They're getting more aggressive now. They're getting good action in front of the goaltender, and they're passing the puck around pretty well here on the 5-on-5. With 13:23 remaining, the scoreboard should say period 2, not 1, and it's 2-0 Magicians.
Off the draw, Jaden Luck was in, and it went right towards the goal. Clausen made the save, and he hangs on to it. Shots are 22-4 Magi. Luck is in on the draw again. He's out there with Hillman, along with Isaiah Thongfett. Now, if this isn't a hard-working line, I don't know what is. Opperud's at the point, along with Draney, and the Magi have control in the offensive zone. Luck sends it up, trying to connect with Thongfett, but the Braves intercept. They're going to throw this one down 200 feet again. Out of the net to play it is Sortland with the backhand. The official said the Magi touched it, so the icing was waved off. Here comes Josh Draney, moved it into the offensive zone on the retrieve for the Braves is Barrett. And Barrett moves it up ahead to center ice, and here come the Braves into Magi territory. Killen moves it away to the near wing, left side of the radio dial, underneath the goal line, now at the half boards, back underneath the goal line it comes. Opperud to the backhand, trying to connect over there to Thongfett. He tried to move it ahead, couldn't do so. The Braves dumping right back in. 12:30 to play here in the second. Minot High has goals early in the frame, 27 seconds into the second here from Jaden Luck. They got one moments later from Riley Opperud, and the Magi sit on a 2-0 lead. They're not done pressuring yet. They move it into the offensive zone, but it's going to be taken here by the Braves and Saylor. Justice Saylor moves it ahead where it's crossed into the Magi zone by Yancer. Loose in front of the Magi cage. Bouncing puck comes up, and here comes Fillion. Fillion's going to be in on a 1-on-2. Fillion turns it towards the net. Stick save there from Clausen. Good hustle from Fillion. Nice save from Clausen, who went into the butterfly and made his 21st stop of the hockey game. Approaching the halfway point to the contest. 11:40 to play here in the second. Minot High's up by a pair. 2-0 over Mandan here in the season opener and West Region play. Puck comes in on Sortland in front of the blue paint. Defensive zone for the Magi. Nick Murphy handles on the near wall. He chips it up ahead, and Fillion starts the rush again into the offensive zone. Fillion, backhand, dropped off. Here's Murphy, a drive. Oh, he sent it wide. Thongfett back in front, trying to feed it off to Fillion. And no one home for the Magi as Bone Break comes back into his own territory to retrieve. Look out. The Magicians have two guys sitting over halfway off the bench, halfway on the ice. Could have been too many men.
That was very close to too many men. A couple of things. It's nice to see Fillion getting to wear his dad's number now, number 10, this year. That's the famous number that Tom wore as the Magicians won the state title in '92. Also, it's nice to see Luck doing so well here in the opening game of the season.
Delay call coming on the Magi, and it's Jack Plemmel that will be whistled for a hook as soon as the Magi touch, and they do.
His dad, Jody Luck, played for Dean Blaze for the Magicians in the late 70s, so got a lot of second and third generation players out here, and as the history of Minot High hockey continues. That penalty called at the 6:03 mark here of period number 2. As Nick said, it's a hook on Plemmel.
Face-off will be on Sortland's blocker side. Oprud's out to kill this off with Casey Field out there along with Hauser and Tice for the Magi. Field has it, near side wing, carries it up to center, delivers it across, and the Magi are in. Short-handed, but they're off sides with 10:41 to play. Here in the second, they still lead 2-0.
We'll see how their penalty kill does here now. It's been good, obviously, so far tonight. The Magicians have been called for 4 penalties for 8 total minutes. Mandan has only been whistled once. Theirs was for 4 minutes.
Nick Murphy's got the puck in his own defensive zone. He was hounded there by Drew Condon. Murphy moved it up to center. It's taken by Luck, who dumps it back in. $1:30 remains on the power play for the Braves. They started out of their own end. Right in front of the Magi bench where John Grubb, Jason Bennett, and Jordan Willard, the coaching staff, looks on. Minot High decked out in their home whites tonight with the maroon helmets, pants, and gloves. Their penalty kill's out for 1:10. 10 minutes, 5 seconds to play here in the middle period. Into the offensive zone, Drew Condon carries in, center slot a drive, stick save. Might have been the toughest challenge so far for Sortland. He made the save, and the Magicians send it out to center ice again. We're on the retrieve of Sam Peterson. Here's Peterson working it back into his own territory. Went off to Josh Moe. And Moe regains control for the Braves and sets up shop as he gains a head of steam over center ice. Here's number 2 for the Braves into the offensive zone. Drops it down. Sortland's glove side. Nice play by Bonebreak. Took that one away. And now it's Oprud on the near side wing that scrums for, takes it, flips it all the way down. And out to play it is Clausen, the net keeper for the Braves, who leaves it right on the goal stripe, 3 feet off to the right of the net. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to play. 20 seconds to play on the power play. 9:12 to play in the second. I don't know where you come up with 2:20, Larry. My goodness, 2-0 the Magi lead. Into the offensive zone. Here come the Braves, and they work it back in on the glove side of Sortland. In the center dot. On the glove side, comes back up to the point, taken away by the Magi and Fillion. Plemmel's out of the box, and it's a 2-on-1. Here's Fillion, puts it towards the net with a backhand. Oh, he sent it wide.
I don't know if Fillion knew that Plemmel was with him or not.
Into the offensive zone, the other way comes Kramer for the Braves. Tice underneath the goal stripe in his D zone, moved it up to Plemmel, and Plemmel fires it out of the zone. Then it was taken by the Magicians. Plemmel at neutral. He's back in with it. Plemmel makes a move loose in front of the blue paint. Scrumming for the puck as Plemmel comes to field. Dropped off in front of the net. Backhand coming. Hauser sent it off the side of the net. Plemmel in front of the cage. Almost had a handle on it. The Magicians are sharks in water again. Buzzing in front of the cage. It comes up to Plemmel. Now down in the corner. Away to field. Glove side of the goaltender Clausen. And now the Braves will take it and fire it up to center ice past Oprud here with 8 minutes on the dot to play in the second. Just not quite at sync yet are the Magicians early on in the season. Keep in mind they've only played a period and a half of hockey. They look good early in the contest, or early in the second, I should say, with 2 quick goals to start our middle frame. Luck had one of them. Oprud had the other. They look for more now as the puck is sent towards the cage there by Jacob Tice, but the Braves push it back out to center. Oprud cleared ahead. Here's Hauser. He's going to cross in over the Brave stripe. Hauser sends it up and wide of the cage. Hit the glass in behind the Mandan goal. 7:20 to play in the second. The Braves push it back out to center ice once more with Tyler Yancer. Off of the shin pad of Isaiah Thongfett. Offensive zone, it lays for the Magicians, but they have to regroup and go back into their own D territory here with Josh Grady. Grady moves it ahead. Thongfed has it here. This is Isaiah Thongfed back in his own territory. He's trying to skate away from two Braves players. And Thongfed is going to cough it up. Delay call coming here on the Braves. And now
both goalies come to the bench on the delayed penalty call. I think Clausen made a mistake there. The penalty is on Mandan. And Clausen skated out of the net for an extra man, just like Sortland did. They were both at the bench at the same time. That puck wouldn't have been touched. Minot had an open net down there that they could have scored in. So I haven't seen one of those for a while. You and I never did that. We knew when to come off.
Yeah, that's because we were on the bench yelling, watching the whole play.
Well, you can help me embellish. You don't have to say we were on the bench.
Comes away to Oprud, offensive zone, fires it towards the net, hit traffic in front. Magi power plays out for the third time tonight. They're 1 for 2. Here's Murphy, a drive. And a glove save is made by Clausen with 6:34 to play in the second.
High stick was the call on that one.
Minot High up 2-0. Well, it's fair to say there's been some sloppy play in this one. There's also been some stretches of pretty crisp hockey for the Magi. With a 2-0 lead, they have the shot advantage at 24-5. Power plays out now at the point. Gabe Thongfed handles here. In the box are the Braves. Comes up to the point now for Murphy. Far side wing. Oprud on angle shot. Sends it towards the net. Making a stick save there from Clausen. Aiden Morelli in the corner. Offensive zone, far wing. Morelli's been quiet so far tonight. Thongfed delivers back to Morelli. Throws it across the slot. Up to Nick Murphy. Now Murphy takes it for a stroll. Slip shot walked in. And the glove save from Clausen, and he hangs tight to it.
Yeah, you said it was a little bit sloppy, and there were some stages of good hockey. But I like what Minot's doing. They're not being selfish. Plemmel went in on that one play, went in alone, could have taken the shot. He dropped past it to somebody else. So I like the teamwork right now, the passing the puck, no one being selfish. And on this power play right now, they're really moving the puck around well.
Jaden Luck back up to the point. Here's Bonebreak firing in. Comes up to the point where Tice handles here for the Magi. Power play for the next 59 seconds. Tice sends it towards the net. Hit traffic, comes back up to Bonebreak. He delivers top of the circle to Casey Field, who comes to the near point where Tice handles. Sends it off the shin pads of the defender at the top of the box for the Braves. Comes back away down to the tape here for Jack Plemmel. Up to Ben Bonebreak. He'll whistle on towards the net. Oh, he scored!
Bonebreak rifled the wristy from the blue line, and that one had eyes, folks. Finds its way all the way past all the sticks and legs and into the net. And I don't think Clausen saw that or didn't get a very good look at it. And that goal is going to come at 11:32 here of period number 2. The third goal of the period for the Magicians. Bonebreak the goal. We'll wait for the assist on the play. I'm sure you've already got it written down.
I'm going to have to listen in. I don't know who has the assist officially coming. I would guess there might be 2 of them. Offside's the call.
Duffy Dolbeck will let us know. They're having trouble with the rink writer that puts the updated stuff right on rinkwriter.com. I could usually pull it right off, but now, they got it up now. The first period is up.
Here's your Magician scoring.
Here's Duffy Dolbeck on the call.
Scoring your third goal on the power play. Number 18, Ben Bonebreak. Assist with number 11, Jaden Luck, and number 6, Casey Field.
Jaden Luck gets an assist, and Casey Field gets an assist. That's Field's second assist in the game. Luck with a goal and an assist as the Magicians now begin to roll.
Puck handled by the Braves. They're going to push it out to center ice. How do they respond here to the Magicians? Turning up the heat, to say the least, here in the second. At center ice, the Braves scrubbing for it with the Magi. It's taken here by Hillman. He makes a move, and he steps in over the line. Hillman walks it towards the net. Shot on goal. The stop is made. And Clausen will hang tight to his 24th save of the evening.
I want to say hello to Lane Johnson listening in Blaine, Minnesota. probably with Blake and Heaton as well. Tuning in here tonight on ProStyleProductions.com.
Hope the family's doing well. Ladies, one of the greats to ever strap on the pads for the Magi back in the early 2000s. Still in the record books for the Minot High Magicians in the goaltending department. Here's Bonebreak, fires one in, stick save is made, the puck goes up and out of play. Join KMOT TV Sports Director Ben Barr for all your sports highlights from across the region. KMOT TV, not only your sports leader, your local news leader in Minot. KMOT TV at 6 and 10 p.m. Join Ben Barr tonight with the sports. Well, if he was here to start the second period, he got enough highlights to get us rolling. Offensive zone for the Magi, looking for more of those highlights now as Field. His jersey is over his right shoulder pad. Hanging out as he dumps it down to the corner. That's a unique look. Comes back up to the point. Bonebreak handle. He's got one tonight. Looks for another. Sends it in. Clausen. Look behind him. He hangs tight to him.
He was down in the butterfly. Hit him right on the emblem. I can't believe he wasn't quite sure where that one was. And he'll hang on with 3 minutes and 52 seconds remaining here in period number 2. The Magicians leading at 3-0.
Don't forget, if you're buying or selling a home, let 701 Realty's Andrew McKenna Goodmanson make your experience positive. Call Andrew today or McKenna, 701-240-1965. 701 Realty. Minot High is trying to make their home at the top of the standings in the WDA. Points are on a premium, especially with teams like Bismarck Century, who are gunning for the top spot in the West. Bismarck High always doing the same thing. Maybe some teams like Dickinson could be tough again this year with the Joey Pavic kid down there that lit it up last year. He's going to look to do the same thing here in 2019-2020. Fillion in his own defensive.
Teams in the state tonight. Fargo South is taking on West Fargo. East Grand Forks is at Grand Forks Central. Jamestown's at Devils Lake. Davies is at North. Payson is at the Century JV. West Fargo against Grafton, and Williston playing in Dickinson tonight.
Interested to see how Williston is this year. They had some promise last year. Tyler Junt, the head coach of the Coyotes, one of the best players to ever come through Williston, arguably the best player to come through Williston's program. He's got that team pointed in the right direction.
Here's got Cody Dickerson helping out too as well.
Jaden Locke, top of the circle. Offensive zone up top. Root sends it in through traffic. Save Clausen. And the Magi are banging on the doorstep. Hillman throws a cross check. He gets one of his own. Delivers a blow there onto Carter Berger's backside. Berger goes to the ice. Will we have penalties coming after Hillman sets the tempo here with 2:43 to play in the second?
Well, Hillman was getting roughed up by the Mandan defenseman, so he pushed back and dropped him like a rock. I don't think they are calling a penalty. We're going to play on. Game on.
I like that style that Hillman brings to the table.
He's a scrapper.
He is. Told him that last year. He's my favorite player when he plays that way. You got to have guys like that that can get under the skin of the opponent. There's a big hit on the near side wall. Look out, going for a ride was Aiden Descent. He takes the worst of that we're going to have a power play coming for the Magi as delivering the high hit to the head was Coy Barrett.
Yeah, that I think is a frustration penalty there, Nick, as the Braves now starting to get a shade bit annoyed on how this game is going for them. Penalty at 15:28. Yeah, J.B. Rose was a scrapper like that. Jared Schumeyer, I remember back in the day, was always one of those players, just like Hillman, that stirred up quite a bit out on the ice.
How about Chance Kraft was one of the best. Here's Locke fires one on, and the stop is made from Clausen.
Chance Kraft, Dylan Kraft, those guys could aggravate players on the other team quite well, I may add. We've got the Bible of Minot High hockey here in front of me. It's got every roster and stat from 74 through last year. And I could go through there and pick out one from each team that kind of had that title.
2:09 left in the second. Minot High's up 3-0. Minute 34 left on the Magician power play. Bad news for the Braves from Mandan. Minot High's gone 2 for 2 here in the second on the man advantage. They look for more now with Plemel. Offensive zone, dropped it off the field. Jaden Lux got it underneath the net. Lux sent it in front, tried to feed it to Bonebreak, and the other way with the Ross short-handed walking in. This is Berger. He sends it towards the net. And Sortland says, can of corn, give me another one. Only his 5th save of the hockey game. A minute 5 of the power play, minute 35 of the period as Plemel's back in. Plemel turns it towards the net.
Offside.
Look out up into the mesh. And
Wow.
a stop in the play.
He was offside by 4 feet, and I looked, and there was no official on the blue line.
1:30 left here in the second. 58 seconds left in the Magi power play. Minot High with goals from Bonebreak and Opperud from the blue line, and then Luck had the first of the second period, the first of the game. It's funny when you talk about those guys that are the antagonizers, a guy like Chance Kraft. It's a unique skill to be able to walk that line of not ending up in the penalty box more than you need to, but still being able to do that job. It really is a finer position to play, being able to control those emotions and that tempo from time to time.
Okay, let's take Chance Kraft off that list then, because he lived in the penalty box. So we'll scratch him off. But he's still an antagonizer.
Here's Fillion.
I got a great Chance Kraft story for you, too.
I can't wait. Opperud worked back up to Fillion. Dropped it back over to Thongfett. Fillion handles again at the point. Power play for 29 seconds. With a minute to play here in the second. Thank you, Duffy Novak, for the call. Gabe Thongfett holds it in, drops it down top of the circle. Nick Murphy's got it. He wears sweater number 9. He drops it to the corner over to Morelli. Puck hopped over Morelli's stick, but he's got it back. Morelli sends it in front. Oh, one-timer there for Murphy. Nice defensive play. Getting a stick on it was Sam Peterson. Magi have it back with Murphy. In the circle on the glove side. Back to the point for Thongfett. Across it comes. Here's a drive. Murphy up into the catching mitt. Look what I found, says Clausen. No, he saw it all the way. And it remains 3-0 Magi in the 30th stop of the night for Clausen.
A good shift there on the power play for the Magicians. They moved the puck around well. They got at least 3 shots on that power play. And Clausen once again coming up big in the net for Mandan. We're down to 27.6 seconds remaining here in period number 2.
Here's Luck in front of the net, sends it towards the cage. That was Isaiah Thongfett firing it towards the blue paint, but he sent it wide. Carter Berger up to center ice. Bonebreak took it from him. We're down to the final 10 seconds. Cut him down, kids. 9, 8, 7. We're at 6-5. Luck's going to clear it out to center, and here will be the horn in 2-1. What a period for the Magi. They roll Mandan in the second. They score 3. And the Magicians lead 3-0, out shooting the Braves 33-6 through 34 minutes. We'll be back with our first International Bank and Trust intermission report. Larry's got some history on Minot High Mandan's rivalry that has brewed over time. Maybe we'll play some more Stump Stonewall, and we will have Jordan Willard, the coach of the Magicians, his thoughts at the end of 2 periods played. Minot High leads 3-0 at the end of 2. This is Minot High Magicians hockey.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
ProStyleProduction.com. It's time for the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report. First International has you covered. Let's go back to the press box for the stats, analysis, and everything else Magi hockey.
3-0 at the end of 2 periods played. Minot High on top of Mandan after an impressive start to the second period. Jordan Willard is ice level with the microphone at the bench. Coach, first of all, thanks for a little bit of time at the end of period number 2. First of all, your thoughts on that second period. My goodness, you guys certainly came to play.
Yeah, I mean, we got through that first period with, a hefty shot advantage. Just nothing found the back of the net. Give a little credit to their goaltender. He played pretty well. But, the boys found something there. Jaden Luck with a little bit of a spark there, 4-on-4. Barry's won 5-hole. And, from there, the boys get rolling. A couple D shots, 1 on the power play. 2 on the power play, actually, which is nice to see. And, you got to credit the guys in front of the net working extremely hard. And, it's really nice to see right now.
A bit of a challenge opening the season with the region matchup against an opponent that always brings an A game or their best game, a tough game at least, to the Magic City and the Mandan Braves. What do you look for here in the third period out of your hockey team besides hanging on for a win here?
I mean, it's the things we kind of talk about almost every year, Nicky. It's the little things. You got to get pucks in, you got to get pucks out, sacrifice for each other. At the beginning of the year here, we asked these kids to set goals for themselves, and it was 35 or more shots for a game, and it was 20 or less against per game. So, we're sitting on that right now. Hopefully they can, work hard for each other. That's kind of the whole purpose of it, to kind of get to those numbers. And, like Coach Bennett was talking in the locker room in between the first and second, it's the laws of averages, man. You start throwing pucks on the net, eventually something's going to go in. It's just, it's how it works. So we just want the kids to compete here. Finish off strong, and hopefully at the end of the night things are still swinging in our direction.
Sure, appreciate your time. Best of luck in the third. We'll talk to you after the game.
Sounds good, Nick. See ya.
That's Jordan Willard, the assistant coach of the Magi. We always appreciate his time here tonight.
Okay. Are we still in?
Yes.
13. The last 13 years, the Minot Magicians have lost their opener, but 6 of them were against Grand Forks Central. But 13 in a row. The last team to win their opening game was Chad Burkhart's 2005-2006 team. They beat Mandan 6-0. So, yeah. What? I did not realize that we've went 13 years without winning our very first game of the year.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah, that's totally unbelievable.
We talked about it before the game in the locker room tonight. By the way, it's 3-0 at the end of 2 periods. If you're just joining us, Minot High on top of Mandan. Nick Hulberg with Larry McFall here for the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report. When you look back to some of those teams that they've had, Minot High won the West Region Crown in 2017. Cross Broughton was the goaltender of that club for the Magi. You look at the year that the Magicians had there, it was talked about before the game tonight in the locker room, and we had that conversation. I said, that's not possible. We were undefeated that year, and no, we weren't. We lost in overtime to the Mandan Braves on home ice. That's the year that Minot High, just 2 years ago or 3 years ago, that they swept not only Bismarck High, but Century as well. But Mandan got him, and stung him to start the year in that overtime contest.
And there was a tie in there, too. One of those 13 weeks was a tie, so obviously they didn't win, so that continued the streak. So we do have one score in from Bob Gillen as he's working the nets tonight, along with Steve Brown, as Alec Broughton drives the Zamboni. Grand Forks Central and East Grand Forks are 1-1 in the middle of the second period, and out of all those games we had going on, that's the only update that I have received.
Larry, your thoughts before we talk history, your thoughts on the Magicians and Braves contest here tonight. Minot High looks good at the end of 2 periods. They've looked good through 2, I should say. 3 goals in the contest. Do you have a recap for us and a thought on 2 periods of play?
Well, the Magicians, of course, got that first goal from Luck on an assist from Field to make it 1-0 Magi. That came at 27 seconds of the second period. Then striking next was Riley Opperud on a blast on an assist from Isaiah Thongfett at 1:34. That made it 2-0. And then at 11:32, another power play goal, this one by Ben Bonebreak on assists from Luck and Field. 2 power play goals for the Magicians. Mandan spending way too much time in the box in that period. And I just think the Magicians started moving the puck around well. They're not selfish, at least for now, in game 1. They're moving the puck around well. Example, once again, was Plemmel making a drop pass when he was about 4 feet out and probably could have shot, and he passed it off, and then he got another shot out of the deal. So I just think the Magicians are showing that they are the better hockey club here. The goaltender saves for Sortland and the Magicians. He had 4 in the first and 1 in the second for a total of 5. And for Clausen, Zane Clausen of Mandan, he had 17 saves in the first, 13 saves in the second for a game total so far of 30.
Minot High leads 3-0. Larry, I know that you've got some stuff prepared for us tonight. The rivalry with the Mandan Braves dates back not as far as some of the West, some of the teams in the West region, some across the state. In year number 45 for the Magicians hockey, why don't you give us a quick recap and an overall overview of Minot High Mandan in a nutshell for West Region high school hockey?
Yeah, we've got what we call the Hockey Bible, and we've got all that. Rob Hall and I spent a lot of time researching this all the way back, and we've got every Minot High roster and results all the way now back to the first year in 74 up until last year. And of course, Bismarck High School came in a year before Minot High. Bismarck starting in 73, Minot starting in 74, Century started in 76 in my senior year. Mandan didn't start playing high school hockey until 1992. The very first game against the Magicians was January 7th, 1993, and the Magicians won that one 15-0. They followed up, Minot followed up with 11-2, 13-3, 8-2, 12-1, 11-2, 11-1, 8-0, 7-2, and 4-3 through December 21st, 1999. So those first 10 games, Nick, against the Mandan Braves, the Magicians won all 10 of them and outscored them 100-16 in those first 10 games. Then in the 0001 season, the Magicians lost twice. So Mandan got their first win against the 0001 Magicians, November 21st of 2000, with a 3-2 victory. They followed that up in Minot on December 22nd, 2000, with a 5-4 win to give them their second victory. After that, Minot strung 10 more straight through 2006, so they were 20-2. In that time, they also beat Mandan 3 times in the regional tournament. They also got him again in 2006 in the regional. Lost a 3-0 game in 08. So at that time, the Magicians were 23-3 lifetime. And then the biggest downfall for the Magicians was 07-08 when they lost the regional play-in game 2-1. And that a lot of us Minot High fans remember for a long time ago. So all added up, as I go through here, the Magicians lead the series 45-9-1. And so the Mandan still looking for their 10th overall victory in history against the Magicians. The Magicians look like they're going to get win 46 tonight. So we're going to do this with all the teams and add them up as the season goes on. And it's kind of exciting to be able to look back at some of that old history and see what happened. But Mandan definitely has got a long ways to go before they would even come close to evening the series. Playing twice a year, they're down by 20-some. It's going to take 20, 30 years to if they would sweep every game. So Minot High pretty much dominating this supposed rivalry.
They're doing it again tonight, 3-0. The Magicians lead. Shots are 33-6 at the end of 2 periods played. Third period right around the corner, Minot High and Mandan in the season opener for the Magi. This is Minot High Magicians hockey.
Systems go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. From me and Marianne to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. They travel together, but in separate vehicles. The voices of Magi Hockey. Here's Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall.
Not a sprint, it's a marathon. That's what Chad Burkhardt, the former coach of the Magi, always used to say. And we're at the starting line tonight, the season opener for the Magicians. 2019-2020 campaign is underway with a 3-0 lead after 2 periods of play over the Mandan Braves. Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall here for the broadcast on ProStyleProduction.com and on the radio at 1390 KRRZ. Special thanks to iHeartRadio here in the Magic City, allowing us to be on their airwaves to bring you Minot High Magicians hockey for another season. Larry, 45 years of Magi hockey. You've been in the booth. We tried to figure it out earlier on tonight, but you've been a part of it in some capacity, whether it was on the first team for the Magicians as a goaltender, on the first ever team. You worked at the All Seasons Arena. You worked at the Mesa Arena. You were the PA announcer, and then you've had time here in the booth. Over that amount of time, how much pride do you take in being a part of this and seeing it come to year number 45 now? Where would you say that falls on your scale of pride, just being a part of a program like this for so long and being one of the first original guys to say they were a part of that program?
Yeah, well, it is a proud moment for me. It was nice to be able to be on the first ever team. John Willert sitting over there on the other side with Jason Steele. John was a teammate as well. I think we're the only two left in Minot from that first team. Everybody else has went their separate ways. But yeah, Minot High is a tradition. Winning the first 2 state tournaments, of course, added to the pride of that, knowing that now that we can compete any given year with the other teams from the East. So yeah, it's just it's fun watching these kids, especially when you get into the second and third generation and you know their parents so well, and their parents played for the Magicians, so or their dads at least, not the women, but yeah, it's always fun to watch it every year.
We're underway for the third period, 20 seconds into the third. Minot High is a 3-on-1 in the offensive zone, their top unit. Here's Murphy in over the line.
Oh.
And Kevin Wilk will blow it down as the Magicians got close to the goal.
Oh, man, you don't want to go off sides on a 3-on-1. That's just a concentration error there by the first line here of the Magicians.
Murphy, Morelli, and Fillion were the ones that had the 3-on-1. They were offside, so they're back in with Murphy again. Minot High traveling from the right to the left to their home whites here for the third. Left to right for the Braves and the Road Blacks. It says Mandan on the top, Braves on the bottom of the belly. The Indian Warhead right in the center. Their black pants have silver and white trim. Stripes on the sides. Here comes Morelli for the Magi. He's into the offensive zone. He crashes towards the net and fires one up and wide on the glove side of Clausen. Clausen's been superb tonight. 33 shots on goal. He stopped 30 of them. The Magicians found the back of the net with Jaden Luck. Bone break and Oproot. Now Plemmel's in with it. Turns it towards the cage and into the butterfly. Clausen makes save number 31.
Plemmel tried to rip that one into the 5-hole. Just didn't shoot it soon enough, and the goaltender got down in the butterfly and squeezed the pads and shut that area off. Face-off will come to the left of Clausen.
Back at the point, here's Oproot. Sends one towards the cage. It bounced up and went wide. On the blocker's side it comes. The puck is handled here by Plemmel. He'll walk out. Tried to dish that one towards the cage. It spun over to the far corner where Oproot streaks down to pick it up for the Magi. The D-man's down low underneath the goal line now. Scrumming forward here. Oproot handles. Worked it with a backhand up to Hauser. Trying to hold it in on the Magicians. They can't as it's handled by the Braves. And out to center off the Halston guard it comes. And the Magicians get it back now here with Field. Field off to Oproot. Offensive zone for the Magi and then right back out. Oproot's going to get a handle on it here. Only momentarily. Has to let that one go to touch up on sides for the Magicians. This is going to be taken again by Field, who breaks into the offensive zone on the blocker side of Clausen. Half wall it comes. Up to the point from Tice. He'll deliver down to the corner. 14:47 to play here in the third period. Minot High's up 3-0. They haven't won an opening game of their season in 13 years. That's unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
Here's Bonebreak back in his own territory. It's pushed up the near wall. Glove side of the goaltender, Trey Sortland, who we are told tonight will get the workload for the entire year for the Magi. That's good news for Trey Sortland. He's going to have the opportunity to take it and run with it. It's his net to lose. Play a little more loose sometimes that way. Let's see how he takes that opportunity and runs with it here in his junior season. 3 minutes into the third period. Minot High stacking up a 3-0 lead. All the goals came in the second. Gabe Thongfen right in front of the Mandan bench. Trying to move it ahead forward. His brother Isaiah is there to help out. 15-5. They handle here with the Magicians back in front of their own territory. Gabe goes for a stroll back in behind the net of Sortland. He moves it away to the near wing to Bonebreak. Bonebreak tried to move it ahead. Came right onto the tape for Zane Fay, and he threw it towards the goal of Sortland. Sortland made the stick save. Now Hillman's got it back in his own territory. I'm dying to hear that Chance Kraft story that you have. Kraft, of course, played for the Magi back in the early 2000s, graduating from Minot High School in 2005. Anybody that played in that time era, I'm sure in that era during that time, is sitting at home by the radio on pins and needles just waiting to hear if they can hear what it is. Back in behind the Magician net. The Braves have control of it. Puck is going to be sent back towards the cage. Sortland makes a stop. Rebound turned aside at the side of the net. The close call for the Magi. They need to ice it, and they do. Comes down for an ice with 12:55 to play in the third. Minot High up 3-0.
Yeah, Mandan caught a little energy there now, keeping it in the Magician zone and trying to cut this to a 2-goal lead. And they came close. The cage was open that one time when Sortland slid too far to the right, and the shot just went wide. So Mandan showing a little bit of a push here. It only takes one goal to get back in this thing.
Off the draw, glove side of Sortland. Puck handled by the Magicians, Oproot. I was a little surprised to see that Riley Oproot didn't have that C on his uniform here this year. He's a player that I really liked the way he played last year with the morale guy. Every time the goaltender got scored on, he would be a guy that would be down touching the pads of the net keeper. Vocal on the ice. Here's a drive coming from Tice. Stop was made from Clausen. Here's a drive again, and Tice fired one in. Clausen went to the butterfly and hung tight to it. On that note, I do have to say that in no way, shape, or form is that any knock on Peyton Philly, and obviously that kid is one that can carry a team and lead by example. Number 10 for the Magi.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
His time on the football field for the Magi, proving his athletic abilities, following in Dad's footsteps, who was Mr. Hockey North Dakota. Tom Fillion led the Magi to their first state championship back in 1992. Tom went on to play for the University of North Dakota, the Fighting Sioux at that time. It was a big deal for the Magi back then. It still is today. Only 2 championship banners hang here in the Pepsi rink at Mesa Arena for North Dakota high school hockey. It's only been 3 championships won out of the West. Minot High has 2 of them. Bismarck High has the other. No more Mike Peluso down in Bismarck, if you haven't heard that.
Yeah, that's not going to be the same without Mike.
Back in behind the net. Magicians have it in the offensive zone. Back to the point. Here's a drive. Came in, went wide off the drive from Tice at the point. Offensive zone for the Magi. Now working it down low. The Magicians with Dawson Knudsen. He hasn't had many shifts here tonight. Hard on the forecheck, though, trying to make the most of his time on the ice for the Magi here in the third. Magicians are going to go for a 3-for-5 change. The D-men stay out. The forwards are new, and they come to the ice here as the puck is carried forward by Justice Saylor, who dumps it back in behind Sortland. 11-10 to play in the third period. Minot High up 3-0. Opperud and Bonebrink, along with Jade Luck, who had the first one of the hockey game, just 27 seconds into the second frame after it was scoreless after 1. Here's Plemmel offensive zone. Comes back up. Delay call coming here on the Braves. And Minot High will go back to the power play as soon as the Braves can touch up. Sortland's off. 6-on-5 the attack for the Magi with the empty net on the delayed call. Drady tried to move it ahead forward up to Morelli. And here comes the power play for the Magi.
6:24 is the time of that penalty call on Mandan skater number 7 coming to the box. That's Colby Kramer for a trip. And the Magicians once again go on their powerful power play that's already netted 2 tonight out of their 3 goals. And the faceoff will come to the right.
Trey Sortland, the Magi goalkeeper, skated to the bench on that delayed call. He's got a goal strap off that right leg pad that's hanging down, Larry. Let's see if that becomes an issue. You step on that thing and it's like
stepping on a skateboard on a set of steps.
That's a good analogy. I was going to say it's like stepping on ice with rubber shoes, and I started thinking about it.
Stepping on the ice with your skate guards on.
There we go. Thank you. Tripping the call. Magi power plays out. Dogfed at the point.
We won't say who did that before.
Handled now here by Thogfed. He's going to have to skate it back out to center ice. This is Gabe Thogfed. Back into his own territory. Magi power play with Opperud up the near side wall. Smaller player for the Magi. The right-handed shot takes it down below the goal line. Works it back to the point where Nick Murphy heads. Delivers back to Opperud. Quarterbacking the power play with 1:04 remaining on the man advantage with Fillion now turning it towards the net. Oh, he tried to pick the blocker side.
Wow.
High corner and it went off the knob of the stick and out of play.
Nice save there by Clausen, sticking in on that high shot by Fillion. And once again, the power play, Nick moving the puck around so well. That time Hillman quarterbacking it, and also on the point, Nick Murphy. They're moving the puck really well, and now the next power play unit comes out for the Magicians. And Sortland's got some mechanical issues with his pad, and Jordan Willard's going to try to fix that. It will take just a little break here.
Well, that gives us a nice opportunity once again to thank some of those fine sponsors of Magicians Hockey. We thank all of them that make Magi Hockey possible each and every year. Minot's Finest Collision Center is one of them. We'll hear the 3 stars of the game coming up in our post-game show, brought to you by Pinnacle Employee Benefits.
You were talking about Mr. Hockey being Tom Fillion years ago. Just a little tidbit here for you people. I don't know if you realize that the Minot Minotauros, Minot's NAHL team, has last year's number 1, Mr. Hockey Cole Hansen from Grand Forks Central, playing for them. He was also the leading scorer in the state last year. The Magicians also have Cade Stibbe from Fargo Davies.
Toros have.
The Toros have. And also Hunter Bjerge and Jay Buckholz from Fargo. So the Toros have 4 real good, high-quality North Dakota players from last season.
Fantastic to see Minot's North American League team bringing in the local talent. Fantastic stuff. Puck dumped down the length of the ice. It's an icing on the Magi.
Yeah, that Cade Stibbe, he got a couple of goals the other night in the 11-1 or the 11-goal victory for the Toros here on Saturday night. A franchise record of 11 goals in one game. He is so fast, Nick. And for Fargo Davies last year, he was just same thing. And he's even faster now and stronger, and it's well worth coming out and watching him. He wears number 20 for the Toros.
Jaden Locke across the neutral ice zone off to Casey Fielder, walks in, fires it on. Clausen another stop. 35 on the night for Clausen. 3-0 Magi. Out of the corner, a drive comes up. That one off of Field and another blocker save. Puck at the far point for Tice. Shuffled it down, tried to go over to Plemmel. He lost a handle on it. Power plays out for 10 more seconds for the Magi. Braves trying to clear, and they do now. They launch it all the way down.
That's the busiest blocker I've seen in quite a few hockey games. Have you ever seen so many blocker saves in one game? I mean, unbelievable.
He really has been busy on the right side of his body. Another nice save there. 8:26 to play in the third. Bone breaks in with it. Sends it towards the front of the net. What did that hit? A skate to the Mandan defenseman. It came right in on goal, and Clausen had to be sharp on it. Puck comes back away now to Thogfett. Turns it towards the net. That one whistled maybe off the mask and up over the cage. Trying to hold the zone as Thogfett again. He can't. Then Josh Drady has to come back to retrieve in his own territory. Drady works it up the wall. Back away now to Thogfett. Down low. It's right in on Sortland. Puck comes back in behind the cage, and Isaiah Thogfett turns with it up the near side wing. Right side of the radio dial, trying to clear the zone are the Magicians with Isaiah Thogfett, but causing some trouble there is the answer. Puck goes back away now to Hillman. He tries to poke it free. Can't, comes in on Sortland. And Sortland makes the right play and hangs it tight with 7:37 to play in a 3-0 third. Minot High on top.
The Thogfett brothers were here all summer long, whether it was 90 degrees outside in July or whatever the case may be. They were at open hockey all the time, those two guys, and you can certainly tell here tonight the improvement that these two guys have. They were good players the way it was, but the work that they put in this summer is definitely shining right now here tonight in this game.
There's some talk about the Thogfetts being guys that might even be next level players, Larry, with work ethic and natural ability. I'm telling you, I think Minot High is going to have a better team than a lot of people think here in 2019-2020. Thought that last year too. But this year that may be correct. In on goal with the drive, and the stop was made. The biggest challenge tonight for Trey Sortland was gobbled up into the chest protector off of the Parker's hander attempt.
Yeah, those ones are tough when they come from the face-off dot and they cut into the slot, the top of the slot, and shoot while they're moving. That's tough for the goaltender to move over there. But Sortland down on the pillows made the save.
Riley Operud back in his own territory, chipped it high off the glass. Right above the Magic City Hoagie sign behind Sortland. And the goal there. Mandan holds it in, Minot High with the puck enticed behind their own cage. Now it goes away to Operud. He's trying to clear the zone, trying to work it up the wall. Minot High better put their foot back on the gas pedal here because Mandan throwing everything they've got at the Magicians here with 6:52 to play in the third period. Here's Fillion trying to get it out of the zone. Good possession of the puck, but then he coughed it up. Now he gets it back, takes it with a backhand, and moves it into the offensive territory where the Braves are on the retrieve again. Fillion holds the line, pushes it towards the net. Clausen falls down into the butterfly and makes the save. He'll hang tight with 6.5 to play in the third. Minot High up 3-0, and more Motley Crew inside the Pepsi ring.
Motley Crew back on tour this next summer with Poison and Def Leppard. How about that? concert.
All over it.
Oh, yeah, I'm all over it.
You're going?
All over it. I don't care if it's in Botswana. I'm going.
Front of the net. Off the attempt for the Magi. Puck was knocked down by Dawson Knutson. Comes away to the half wall. Offensive zone for the Magi. These are the points in the hockey game for the Magi and Braves where it just gets a little sloppy. A lot of touches between the two teams. A lot of almost just like a rugby scrum or broom ball, maybe you could say, where they're back and forth batting at it. Then again, there's been some times in the contest tonight where it's been pretty smooth. Magi are back into the offensive territory. That's Zach Deal that tried to fire one towards the cage. Knutson back in behind. Hot angle shot, fired it up, hit the glass as that attempt went wide. We're down to 5:40 to play here in the third period. The Magicians are up 3-0. Out shooting the Braves from Mandan tonight 41-9. Turned over behind the Magi net, right in front. The drive came in. Alstengard tried to tuck it 5-hole, and Sortland was tested. He made another nice stop there. Sortland's only made 10 tonight, but a few of them have been clutch. Into the offensive zone for the Magi. They're off sides. As stepping in 1 foot ahead was Derwin Hauser.
Bob Gillen, the North Dakota State Hockey statistician, has sent us some scores. West Fargo Packers lead Grafton 2-1 in the third. East Grand Forks and Grand Forks Central are tied 2-up in the third. Fargo South with a 6-3 lead over West Fargo. And Devil's Lake in front of Jamestown right now, 2-1. Hockey season is on.
It's on, baby. Under 5 to play in the third. Braves with control of the puck in the Magi territory. Josh Strady on the near wall trying to move it ahead forward. It's going to come up to Jack Plemmel, and Plemmel starts the rush. Dropped off the tape of Hauser in his field. Field onto the backhand, sends it in. Nice play from Field. Put it low.
Nice save there.
Stop was made, and another one from Hauser. Here's Drady, sends it towards the front of the cage. Fields got it, center slot, turns it towards the wall near wing. Right-handed shooter now is going to step in with it, trying to poke it towards the net. Scrum in front of the blue paint. Boston dives out on top of it. He'll hang tight. Plemmel having a conversation in front of the blue paint with 27, Barrett. And Plemmel's probably got 6 inches and 20 pounds on him.
Could we call it the Hauser? What should we name that slap shot? The howitzer. The Hauser howitzer?
I like it.
He let that rip and a big right. It looked easy, but it's not. A big right leg kick save at the last second on that big blast by Hauser.
4:22 to play here in the third. 3-0 Minot High on top. Jaden Luck in on the draw. He had the first goal of the night for the Magi. Took 17 minutes and 27 seconds for the Magi to get on the board tonight. And it was Jaden Luck picking up where he left off last year. Luck only a sophomore. He might be emerging as somebody to keep an eye on for the Magi. Maybe not emerging. He probably is already someone that you need to keep an eye on. That kid's got a motor on him, and he obviously has some hands. 11 white for the Magicians. He might be a marquee player here in the next 2 years.
Yeah, he's a skater that works hard also. He goes and participates in all that hockey out east and the little traveling team they put together. He's just turned into a real good hockey player.
It's always interesting to see how the season progresses.
Jody told me that he had offers to go play some juniors, Nick, but he wants to stay and play for his high school, so he stayed here at Minot High. Penalty coming up. Skater number 3 is going to get the gate, Ashton Hillman, and he's going to get it for holding. Penalty at 13:09.
3-0 Minot High. Late to the contest. 3:51 to play in the third. 2-minute power play. Comes up. A timeout called by Leif Matson of the Mandan Braves. And we'll just keep it right here.
So actually, you didn't stump me because you had the wrong amount of years.
Technically, I did stump you, unfortunately. I just said since 2012, the answer was still 0.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to take that one up to the booth.
Good effort, though.
I just threw my review flag down on that guy underneath us. Hope it didn't. Got beanbags in it. That could hurt.
Be a part of the greatest game on earth. Talk to the Minot Hockey Boosters today about learning to play. Minot Hockey Boosters, inspiring teamwork, pride, and life lessons in the lives of all of our members. Visit Minot Hockey Boosters online at minothockey.com.
Good timeout by Matson. Mandan's been carrying the play almost all period. And once again, even though this has been very one-sided on the scoreboard as far as shots go, it only takes one. So I think that's a wise timeout. He's got 3:51 remaining. He's got a 2-minute power play. You might even see the tendy come off at the end of this. I'm not quite sure. They need 3 goals.
Can Minot High pick up a win in the season opener for the first time in 13 years tonight?
So the seniors on this team were 5 years old the last time that Minot High won an opener.
Unbelievable.
In fact, I was young. I was only 48.
I was going to say, ironically enough, 5 years old, that's how old I was when you turned 50. Here's a drive coming in. It went just wide of Sortland on the puck.
Oh, come on.
It's launched all the way down. The stop is made there from Clausen. He moves it ahead forward. Minute 24 on the Mandan power play. With 3:10 to play here in the third. Chipped ahead forward. In come the Braves on the blocker side of Sortland. Puck's down low, comes back up. Look, drive comes in, went wide. And Sortland takes it off the carom, off the end wall, and hangs on to it. Nice play from the Magi goaltender, freezing the puck with 3 on the dot to play in the third.
Boy, they got to put that on net if you're Mandan. They had the 2 guys up front, the blast coming in. You got to put that on net. You can't shoot it wide.
Glove side of Sortland. In on the draw, Luck's on the kill along with Opperud. Tice is back there well with Nick Murphy. Puck is launched all the way down, and the stop is made from Clausen. Give credit where credit's due.
Look at Luck forecheck.
Clausen for the Mandan Braves has been phenomenal here tonight. He starts to flirt with coming to the bench. He gets all the way up to the top of the circle. Murphy took the puck and launched it down to the corner, and that forces Clausen to head back to the goal paint. 38 seconds on the man advantage for the Mandan Braves. 2:25 left in the third. Mandan's down by 3. Minot High holding the 3-0 lead. Matson trying to get his goaltender to the bench, but the Magicians, oh my goodness, Nick Murphy just took a high stick right underneath the chin. No call on the play, still getting hooked up high. Puck comes back ahead. Now looks like Jake Stacks on. Yeah, there it is. The high stick is called. That could have been a nasty one for number 9. White took it underneath the chin. He's okay, but we're going to skate 4-on-4 for the next 15 seconds.
14:54 the time of that penalty. Skater number 8 in the box, Drew Condon. And as Nick said, we are 4-on-4 for the next 15 seconds. 2:06 remains in regulation play. Magicians trying to hang on to a 3-0 lead.
Pinnacle Employee Benefits postgame show comes up at the conclusion of this one here tonight. Look up, breakaway the other way. Halstegard's in all alone, a drive. Oh, what a save! Highway robbery from Sortland. He goes into the splits and flashes the leather. 1993, Patty Waugh called. He wants to stop back, and there's a goose egg still on the board.
Man, that was a nice save. Sortland played that to the tee and made the shooter commit first. Got the leather on it, as Nick said.
Off the draw, the defensive zone, Opperud handles here. And he's going to skate it up to center as the Magi go back to full strength. They're on the power play for the next minute 37. Power play clicking tonight at 2 for 5. Morelli drops it down to the corner, gave it away to Fillion. Then Fillion trying to give it back to Morelli, but it's taken and wrapped around the wall by Josh Moe all the way down to the other end of the ice where Sortland was out to play, and he dropped it back for Gabe Thongfett. About 20 to play here in the third period. Minot High will get all the way down to 5 seconds remaining in the contest on the power play unless they can score their 4th of the night. Handling now, worked up from Opperud to the point. Thogfen, Opperud's got it back in the circle near wing. Throws it towards the cage, went wide. Comes back away, Morelli scrubbing for it there. It's underneath the goal line. Braves handle, they fired all the way down with the help there of Josh Moe. Thank you, Duffy Novak, by the way, for the 1-minute call. We're down to 48 seconds to play here in the third. Opperud handles behind his own net. Got it away down to Nick Murphy, near wing, over to the far wing, and Field works it up to center. Field crosses in. What a move, a drive. Oh, he sent it up and just wide on the blocker's side. Puck comes back up to Thogfen. At center ice, Morelli handles, drops it across. Field delivers over. Murphy back to Field. The drive comes in, and Clausen makes stop number 41 of the hockey game.
Boy, a nice play that time coming in. Field and Murphy working well with each other. Back to back to back passes set up the shot at about 4 feet in front of Clausen, but he makes his 41st save of the evening.
20 seconds left in the hockey game tonight. Minot High is going to move to 1-0 to start their campaign. The only question mark now is what will the final be? Kids count them down. We're at 8, 7, 6. Here's a drive off the iron. Mandan's at full strength. 3-2. Here's the horn. For the first time in 13 years, the Magi get a win in their opener. Trey Sortland posts the goose egg. The Magicians get goals from Luck, Opperud, and Bonebrink, and the Magi roll 3-0 in the opener tonight. Pinnacle Employee Benefits post-game show is right around the corner. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Libeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
ProStyleProduction.com.
Planet Pizza. Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. Have a combined one win and goal for the Magi, but have some of the most legendary calls on the radio for the Magicians. Here's the voices of Magi Hockey, Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall.
What a night for the Magi tonight. They opened their season with a 3-0 win over the Mandan Braves. Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall to tell you how they did it here in our Pinnacle Employee Benefits post-game show. For the recap of game number 1 of the 2019-2020 season, Pinnacle Employee Benefits brings you tonight's post-game show. Pinnacle Employee Benefits specializing in customized benefit plans for all shapes and sizes of businesses. Let our specialized benefit team help you make your life easier today. PEBND.com. They really do some great work at Pinnacle Employee Benefits. Post-game show for game number 1. And for the Magicians, I don't know, do you think it could have went much better tonight? They get a 3-0 win, maybe could have scored a few more goals, but they ran into a goaltender that made some big saves tonight, heavily out shooting Mandan. Overall, your thoughts on tonight's contest, Mr. Larry McFall?
Yeah, they probably could have scored some more, as you said, but Clausen played an outstanding game and goal. 17 saves in the first period, 13 in the second, 11 in the third for 41, while his counterpart, Trey Sortland for the Magicians, had 4 in the first, 1 in the second, 6 in the third for a total of 11. So 30 shots different between the two goaltenders, and Clausen tried to keep his team in the game, but the Magicians took advantage of a couple of Mandan penalties. Even though Mandan only got whistled 4 times for 10 minutes, the Magicians were 5 for 10 minutes, but that 4-minute power play got the Magicians going at the 1:34 mark of the second period, and that was their second goal, and then another power play goal was their third. So the Magicians did a great job on the power play, also a good job on the penalty kill. And like I said, Nick, what I liked here in the opening night is I've seen way too many Magician teams where one guy just tries to take the puck and do it himself a lot. And that's happened in the past because normally the teams only have 1 or 2 or 3 outstanding players above everyone else. But this team, from what I saw tonight at least, is very, very team-orientated. They pass the puck well. They're always looking for the open guy. They're even giving up shots to pass to someone else, and I haven't seen that much from Minot High. I see it out east when we go and watch Grand Forks Central and Red River, how they work the puck. Minot seems to be kind of tailoring towards that. There's at least tonight there wasn't any selfishness at all. It was just the Magicians passing the puck and playing really well.
Any big surprises for you tonight, Larry? Is anything that stands off in your memory from tonight's contest that's a big surprise to you at all from the performance we saw tonight from Minot High?
No, I don't think there's any surprises. I think these kids are working year-round now, and you could tell it. Like I said, the Thongfets came to so many open hockeys here in the summer. Every time I was working the window, here they came, checked them in. They go to open hockey. They weren't the only ones, but they stick out in my mind as 2 guys that came probably more than everybody else, at least this summer. And to me, it shows both of those guys played a real good game. One of them a defenseman, the other one a forward. And I thought that the whole team came together pretty well, but really impressed with the teamwork, the pass and the puck, looking for the open man, and that power play was deadly. They probably could have had another couple power play goals, but, Clausen played really well in the nets for Mandan. But I think overall, a very good effort for the Magicians tonight.
We're now joined in the press box here by Eric Woodbeck, the assistant coach for the Magi and the goaltending specialist for the Magicians. Woody, as we like to call him, first of all, thanks for some time tonight. Your thoughts on the performance from Minot High tonight? Boy, they certainly look good to me from up here.
Yeah. Well, I think we played as a team tonight. We grew a little bit. Every day we want to get a little bit better, and I think today we took a step in the right direction, at least to start the season this way.
Talk a little bit about being the guy that handles the goaltenders and the special breed of athletes that they are in a game like tonight where Sortland comes in and only sees 10 shots throughout the contest. What's the message to a kid like that in a situation where he's got the shutout rolling and heading into a third period where, Mandan's probably going to get one or two good opportunities on him, which they did?
You got to remind him just to stay mentally focused, stay mentally sharp. If you're not, if you know that at any moment there could be a loose guy here or there or a loose puck here or there, and when you're not getting a whole lot of work, you have to go through in your mind things that situations or scenarios in your mind and play them out in your head while you're waiting for action to happen.
Woody, I felt that there was a couple of players tonight that just turned in an overall good game. Ashton Hillman, boy, that guy hits, antagonizes a little bit. He's always around the puck, but he also seems to be a great teammate. Nick and I were talking about how last year if the goaltenders gave up a goal, he was always the first one there, patting them on the pads, telling them, good job. I thought he turned in a game. I was pretty high on the Thongfets, and another one that impressed me tonight was Jack Plemmel. He wasn't selfish at all. You just said that you played well together as a team. One time tonight he went in alone basically with a trailer with him. He was 4 or 5 feet from the goaltender. He could have easily just taken it in and taken a shot, and he dropped past it to try to create a better shot. It didn't work, but he seems to be dishing the puck out as much as he can. It seems like a lot of these guys, the selfishness that I saw a little bit from last year, the maturity now is gone, and these guys are playing really well as a team. What do you think of those Hillman and Plemmel's performance and some of those guys tonight? Who do you think shined tonight?
As a staff, we thought Jaden Luck really shined tonight. He had a lot of energy, brought it. He was the one who got our first goal. And some of those nerves in that first period, kind of got shook off once he scored. Then we got it rolling a little bit. But you're right. Like all the kids, I thought that they put in a good effort tonight as a team. There wasn't anything selfish. It was team first, and that's the goal that they're looking for. They want the kids picked. They want team first as their number one. So,
love it.
Yeah, and also go ahead, Dick. I got one more, but I got to look it up here.
Woody, your thoughts on what it does for the momentum, being able to, I know that there's a whole crop of guys that are new in there in that room, but Mandan knocks us off in the first game of the year last year, and you're behind the 8 ball from the start of the year, down in the region points when you're contending against Bismarck Highs and Bismarck Sentries at the top. What does that do for some of the guys in the room that were there last year that know that, hey, we're perfect on the year and we got through game number 1? I know it's goofy to say, but is it on the minds, you think?
Oh, yeah, we talked about it this a little bit before the game. We hadn't won our first game. I think it's been a few years since we won.
We looked it up. It was 2005, 2006.
Yeah, we were right.
13 years. Even though there's an asterisk there, in my opinion, 5 or 6 of them was against your old team, Grand Forks Central. Can you really count those? I mean, come on. Can you really count those losses? But yeah, 13 years. Chad Burkhart's team of 2005 and 6 beat Mandan in the opener 6-0. So yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, and it's nice to kind of get that monkey off our back a little bit. Start off the season the right way instead of, worrying about are we going to get any goals or if we're going to do anything with the next game or whatever. But it was nice to see them play well. They played hard. They played fast. They played physical. They played everything. I mean, and also, because I can. But Trey, I think that might have been the first shutout in an opening game in maybe
at
forever.
least 13 years, yeah.
Mandan 6-0. That 2005, 2006, 6-0 over
So that
Mandan.
was the last time, but yeah.
And those goalies would have been, I don't know Derek Scogan was a sophomore. David Bowen was a senior, so I think that was Bowen in the net that night. So, yeah, getting something like that off and gone is definitely a big, big thing off the shoulders.
Woody, we always appreciate your time. Nice job.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you for coming on up, and good luck for that. They go right back at it on Thursday night, Nick, too. They don't get much rest.
Right on to Devil's Lake on Thursday night.
Yeah.
We'll come back with our Pinnacle Employee Benefits postgame show. More of the Pinnacle Employee Benefits postgame show. We'll have our Minot's Finest Collision Center stars of the game coming up in just a moment as well. Minot High wins tonight 3-0 in the season opener. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
ProStyleProduction.com. Watch out for flying pucks and the Zamboni. Let's go back to the press box with Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall.
3-0 Minot High gets the win tonight over the Mandan Braves. Thanks for joining us for the Pinnacle Employee Benefits postgame show. Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall. Larry, Minot High heads off to Devil's Lake on Thursday for a matchup with the Firebirds at 7:30. After that, Minot High heads to Bismarck Century next Tuesday, December 10th, 7:15 the game time. Are you making the road trip for that one?
In separate cars.
In separate cars. That's how we travel. We'll have that one for you. Saturday, December 14th, Minot High's at home against Dickinson. Tuesday, the 17th, they're at home against Bismarck High. The 21st, which is a Saturday of December, it's Jamestown, then a little bit of a holiday break, and then they head to Roseau for the tournament. So some big games early on in the season. Century's on the list. Bismarck High's on the list. They knock off Mandan tonight. A non-conference matchup with Devil's Lake, and one that I'm looking forward to is that Dickinson matchup that might be better than you think. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, but some big ones to start the year in the first half and still in 2019 for Minot High here tonight. Any thoughts before we head to our Minot's Finest Collision Center stars of the game?
No, I just think the team has got to be happy about this one, but you can't stay in that mode very long because just 2 days from now you got to go at it again against Devil's Lake, and you never know what's going to happen there at the Quentin Burdick Arena. There's been some pretty tough games in the past, so they'll have to keep their heads up there and get ready to play against Devil's Lake. But they looked really good tonight to me, and they're doing the things they need to do. The penalty kill looked good. You need to score on your power play. They did that twice out of 5 times, and didn't really get tested in the nets with Sortland, but I know he's capable. I watch the kid every day at practice, so pretty confident going into the Devil's Lake game. By the way, folks, we're planning on broadcasting the 2 games in Bismarck and the one in Mandan, and also the game up in Bottineau. Those will be our 4 road games that we're going to broadcast this year, and then we're going to hit all the home games as well, in case you were wondering what games were going to be on and what games weren't. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now.
Region and state tournament, the Grand Forks Central matchup is up in the air as well, but due to some conflicts with iHeartMedia, that's where we sit, and that's how it will be. And we're happy to be here for another year. Are you banned from the Devil's Lake Arena still? Is that a thing?
No, I think my ban is done. I didn't tell you the Chance Craft story either. I could do it real quick.
You better do it quick.
It doesn't pertain to hockey, but for you folks out there that know Chance Craft, he was tough, he was physical, he was crazy, and always roughing it up in hockey, even carried on into the Minot Hawks and the men's league. If there was ever any turmoil, he was in the middle of it. So, with that said, Brandon and I go to a Nickelback concert at the Bismarck Civic Center probably now about 3 years ago. Can't remember exactly when it was. We were in the 5th row from the stage, and right in front of me was Chance Craft. He was at the concert, sitting right in front of us.
No.
So we're visiting with him and stuff, and I'm going like, geez, I go, you going to make the whole show before you get in a brawl? I'm just giving him crap. This guy right in front of me, right next to Chance, is totally out of it, okay? And instead of standing and watching the show, this guy would stand and he'd spin. He was spinning around almost the whole night, just spinning circles. And every time he spun, he'd bump into Chance. And Chance spilled his pop and bumped into his, I don't know if it's his girlfriend or his wife, I guess. But this guy, we called him Spinner Guy. All he did was spin around and bump into Kraft. And my son Brandon and I are looking at him going like, I'll give him 2 more. Spinner Guy hits him 2 more times. Kraft is going to dump him. And because of the previous said rowdiness that Chance has, he didn't do anything. He let Spinner Guy bump into him all night long, knocking him around, and Brandon and I had money on it. We were betting like $10, $15 that Chance is not going to take this crap anymore from Spinner Guy, and he let Spinner Guy bump into him all night long and spill stuff on him, and I'm going like, what the heck happened to Chance Craft? It's unbelievable. It's not the Chance Craft I used to know.
Everybody loves Nickelback. Thanks for that. That's fantastic.
It's time for the Minot's Finest Collision Center Stars of the Game. Minot's Finest Collision Center. We are Minot's Finest.
Big thank you to Corey Albee and his staff from Minot's Finest Collision Center. They bring you tonight's Stars of the Game. Kind of a tough choice tonight when you look at who scored for the Magi and the way that everybody played tonight. As a unit, Minot High was good. There was guys across the board in my mind that were good here tonight, and there were some players on the other side that definitely deserve a nod. Trey Sortland's one that deserves a nod tonight. He's not going to make my list, but pitching a goose egg on the opening night for the Magi. It's been since 2005 since that's happened for the Magicians. Same year that they got their last win in the opener. He's an honorable mention tonight. My second star of the game, or my third star of the game, I should say, is the Magicians' Casey Field, who had 2 assists tonight. Field was moving and grooving. This is a toss-up when you look at it, depending on how you look at it. The second star of the game tonight, but to me, it's going to go to the Mandan goaltender that turns in 41 stops of 44 tonight. Definitely deserving of that honor here tonight. It probably is the star of the game. But then there's Jaden Luck, who's got 1 goal, 1 assist tonight, including the game winner, and he was motoring all night long. Your thoughts on that? Field for the Magi, number 3. Klaassen, the goaltender for Mandan, number 2. And Jaden Luck, the star of the game tonight, with 1 goal, 1 assist tonight.
Yeah, I think he made good choices there, Nick. Luck is one of the hardest workers I've seen. He's here early for practice. He stays late. He goes to all the summer invitational teams, and he showed it here tonight. And he started, of course, being one of the youngest Magicians last year. I think one of the only freshmen on the roster.
The only.
Last year. And now just a sophomore, and he's playing like a senior. So well-deserved to the number 1. And boy, I tell you, this goaltender is going to keep them in a lot of games. Zane Klaassen is going to keep Mandan in a bunch of hockey games. I think Leif Matson could be very happy that he's got him on his roster. And a big night, by the way, as well, as you said, Casey Field playing great on the point and doing his job. So, yeah, definitely agree with those 3 stars.
They're brought to you by Minot's Finest Collision Center. Larry, as always, we appreciate your time tonight. Year number 45 for the Magi starts
Year
with a
45.
bang.
A big bang.
Big bang. Minot High gets a 3-0 win over the Mandan Braves tonight. We're back in action on Thursday when Minot High heads to Devil's Lake. We will not have radio coverage of that one for you, but we will be in Bismarck next Tuesday when the Magi take on the Bismarck Century Patriots. Mark your calendar. That will be a good one. Final score tonight, Minot High gets the win, 3-0 over the Mandan Braves until we meet again next Tuesday here on 1390 KRRZ and at ProStyleProduction.com. For Larry McFall, Eric Woodbeck, Jordan Willert, Leif Matson, and Jason Bennett, I'm Nick Hulberg signing off from the Pepsi rink at Mesa Arena. Magi get a win. We're all smiling and profiling. Woo! Woo! Good night, and God bless.